Homemaker Susie Saunders is suing her former friend, Rachel Gershinoff, for an assault. Rachel is countersuing for unpaid credit card charges.
All rise. It's case number 324 on the calendar in the matter of Saunders versus Gershinoff. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat, please.
Ms. Saunders, the defendant used to be a friend of yours, such a good friend that she gave you a credit card with her name on it for you to use.
Actually, the credit card she kept, I charged on it.
You used the credit card?
Yes,
and you
I did.
did it for a couple of years?
Yes, I did.
According to your complaint, there came a time when there was some question about whether or not that bill had been paid off.
Mm-hmm.
And you claimed that the defendant came over to your house and assaulted you, beat you up.
Yes, she did.
And you are suing for the
Yes,
injuries that you sustained as a result of that assault. Why did you let her charge on your credit card?
Because she doesn't have good credit, and she has 3 kids, and I've been in her children's life since they've been born, and I wanted to help her out with stuff that she needed.
And did you charge on that credit card as well?
I did charge on an accident a couple items, but I had paid it, and I have documentation that I had paid the amount that I had accidentally charged 1 month.
Only that one time?
Yes.
Other than that, the only charges on this credit card were Ms. Saunders?
Correct.
And was that your agreement with her, so that you'd keep things separate?
There really wasn't an agreement. I should say there wasn't really an agreement, but that's just how I had it. I have another credit card that's for another girlfriend of mine. She uses that credit card solely just for her purchases also.
Why?
Because I'm a nice person. I like to help people out, and...
All right. Now let me hear about this assault, because that's really what brought you here.
Okay.
When did that take place?
That took place on September 5th of 2003.
Tell me what happened.
The defendant came to my house. She knocked on the door. And my daughter opens the door. My 9-year-old opens the door. And she proceeds to tell my daughter to go get your mother. I'm in my room, which isn't too far away from the front door, so I'm hearing the whole conversation. My daughter tells her to come back later because the defendant's witness was in the car, who is my ex-boyfriend. And I didn't want him on my property or in the vicinity of me. So she says, no, I don't want to come back later. Tell your mother I want to see her right now. Tell her to give me my $85.
You knew what she was there for?
Yes, I do. Oh, I do know what she was there for, but I didn't know that it was going to...
But you knew what she was there for?
Yes,
How did you know what she was there for?
Because I got numerous calls from her and a friend of ours.
Why did you stop making payments on the bill?
Because of the fact that I've asked on numerous occasions, once back in December of 2002 for the itemized statement. Again in May or June of 2003, I asked for an itemized statement. And then again in September, I asked for an itemized statement because I wanted to make sure that they were all mine, which they were. So I decided not to make the payment because of the fact that she wasn't coming through with the itemized statements.
How many months hadn't you made a payment?
Just that 1 month, September.
Okay, fine. And how much do you still owe the defendant on the credit card?
I owe what it is that she says, the $900 and some odd dollars.
$932. Did you, in fact, go over each item on the bill?
Yes, I did.
And you acknowledge that those are all your bills?
Yes.
And the finance charges attached to your expenditures?
Yes.
Fine, so we've taken care of the counterclaim. $932 on your side. Go ahead. So now you're talking back and forth at the door through your 9-year-old.
Okay. So then my 9-year-old goes outside, and I'd say within 3 to 5 minutes, Rachel comes into the house. Rachel comes into my room and says, give me my money. Give me my effing money. So I said, get out, you know. I don't want you here. Get out of my house. She starts pushing me, and she pushes me back down onto the bed. I'm sitting on the bed, and she says to me, do you want me to beat your A? You know, and I'm like, are you threatening me? And she's like, do you want me to beat your butt? And I'm like, you know what? I don't want you here. I'm calling 911. She then snatches the phone out of my hand and then jumps on me on the bed. So I kick her off, and then we get up, and I'm trying to reach for my phone. And as I'm reaching for my phone, she grabbed me by the arm, and she left a bruise on my arm. And she again then pushes me back down onto the bed face first. She punches me with her fist in my head. She had all her rings on, and I had an orange bruise on my head from that. So I again asked Rachel to leave. I tell her to get off of me and get the hell out of my house. So she then pushes me around the room a couple more times and then pushes me over by the window, and the kids are outside playing. And I scream out the bedroom window, someone call 911.
Okay, then she left?
And then she left because I had finally screamed out the window for someone to call 911.
The police arrived that day?
45 minutes
You have a
later.
report?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see it. Okay, start talking. You went over to the house on September 5th.
And I brought her the credit card statements, went to the door, pretty much exactly what she said. I went to the door, knocked on the door, and I asked, is your mother home? Can I speak to your mother? She said, no, she's in the bed. She doesn't want to talk to you. And I said, well, I brought her credit card statements. She asked for credit card statements. I brought her the statements. I would like my payment. And she went back in there, and she said, my mom says that she doesn't want to talk to you. She's sick. She doesn't want to come in there. And I said to Susie, I said, I want to give you these statements. I'm not going to leave.
You said to her or you yelled to her?
I yelled to her. I said, Susie, I said, you need to come out and talk to me. You want these statements? I need the payment. The payment's going to be late. It's a $35 late fee. I want the payment. You told me once you got your welfare check that you were going to pay it. And she didn't. So I told her, I said, I'm going to step in, hand you the payments, and I'm going to leave. And she didn't say anything to me. She didn't answer me or anything. When to give her the statement, she told me to get the F out of her house, and I left.
Okay. What other paperwork do you have?
I have the restraining orders.
Let me see them, please.
This is the first one that I filed, and this is the extension.
Anything else there?
This is from the hospital.
I'd like to see it. What happened with the result of you filing this protective order? Was there a final order issued?
It's out for 3 years. The extension is for 3 years.
Okay. Ms. Kirchhoff, do you recall going to court on or about the 25th of September?
I do.
And did you see a judge at that time?
Yes, I did.
Were you represented by counsel?
Nope.
So you didn't think you needed a lawyer?
No.
Okay. Now, did you or did you not have a trial?
No.
If you did not have a trial, then you consented to the entry of a protective order.
Yes.
Well, you understand that by consenting to the entry of a protective order, it is a statement that you could not meet the charges against you were she to proceed to trial. Do you understand that? So that in effect you're saying, I am guilty. You understand that?
Yes.
Now, the plaintiff sought medical treatment. The medical report indicates that she had bruising. The medical report indicates she was provided a prescription painkiller for both her head and the bruising that she had. And you, in effect, pled guilty by consenting to an order of protection. What do you think I'm supposed to make of that?
I tried to explain my story of reason why I went over there. When I told him the reason why I went over there, that nothing happened, I went there because I wanted to give her credit card statements. He pretty much shushed me up and told me that this needs to go to small claims court. This is not to be taken care of in here. And I just said, okay, whatever, fine, I'll do whatever.
Okay, whatever, fine.
I didn't
now
say
you're
that,
playing
but-
stupid.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
There are a lot of other people she could have taken over to be a witness. She didn't have to take you when you're an irritant.
There was never a problem between us.
I'm
All
not
of a sudden,
speaking
there's
to
a
you
problem.
anymore.
Cool.
And later today,
She became verbally abusive again and told me that she was going to take everything she could from me because I had not been the kind of mother I should have been to her.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Susie Saunders claims former friend Rachel Gershinoff forced her way into her house and beat her up. Rachel admits she entered Susie's home, but claims there was no assault.
You understood exactly why you were going to court. That was not a civil proceeding, that was a criminal proceeding.
All it was a restraining. If she wants to get a restraining order against me not to see her, that's fine. I don't want to see her anyway. What is that going to do to me? There's nothing.
I'm going to tell you what it has to do with you. If you violate a restraining order, you can go to jail for an extended period of time if there is a restraining order because it's a contempt. Even if she decides not to press charges. Police officer sees you within a certain number of feet from her, police officer can arrest you, and you have absolutely no defense. Absolutely none. It's a restraining order. It lists what you can, what you cannot do. That's a difference. And I believe that you understand that. I believe that you understood that when you went there, you had the ability to have a trial. You wanted to tell your story, say, I want a trial. I'm not guilty of anything. She says I'm guilty of beating her up. I never laid a hand on her. Why in the world would I consent to her having this order of protection till 2006? I'm not guilty. And you tell your story, you say, I want a trial. You chose not to do that.
That was a mistake on my part.
Big time. You want to know why you chose not to do that? Because you hit her. That's why you chose not to do it. You were frustrated because what she did was wrong. She's talking through her 9-year-old. She's telling her friend, get out of here, I don't want to see you. It was wrong of you to bring him over to the house.
He's my roommate.
She had no idea I was even there.
Just a second. Maybe she looked out of a window. Maybe her 9-year-old told her. How do you know? And what I'm saying is, there are a lot of other people she could have taken over to be a witness. She didn't have to take you when you're an irritant.
There was never a problem between us.
I'm not speaking to you anymore.
Cool.
You assaulted her. You have no right to assault her. You have no right to cause her injury. She owed you money. She should have paid you. And she shouldn't have been obnoxious and said, come back another time. I absolutely agree with you. You had no right to put your hands on her. You had no right to injure her. She's suing you for $5,000. Is that right?
Correct.
I want to know how many days you missed of work.
I don't work.
Why don't you work?
Because I'm a homemaker.
How many children do you have?
3.
How old are they?
6, 8, and 9.
They all go to school.
Yes, they do.
Well, what are you doing there in school?
I am at home. My boyfriend works.
Does he live with you?
No. He helps with my finances and helps me pay my bills.
Does the state also help you pay your bills?
Yes, they do.
So you're on welfare?
Yes, I am.
Why don't you get a job?
Because I'm currently in with a psychiatrist right now. I'm going to be applying for SSI.
What's the nature of your disability?
Severe depression and social anxiety.
Judgment for the plaintiff for the damages as a result of the assault. You didn't have any lost wages or anything else, so this is just pain and suffering. $2,500. Judgment for the plaintiff, that's all.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I want the credit card paid for purchases that she purchased.
There is no longer a friendship.
I'm not going to pay someone else's bill for their purchases that they have in their home.
Maybe one day, years and years from now, we might be able to work it out.
She's on welfare, and now she's trying to get Social Security, and
But probably not.
she's 28 years old, and she can perfectly get a job. She's not depressed.
And she's very sad that a 10-year friendship has to go down the drain.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Pollard versus Jones. Step forward, please.
24-year-old student Sherry Pollard is suing her mother, nurse Pat Jones, for the return of her belongings. Pat is countersuing for phone bills, storage fees, and the return of property.
Miss Pollard, this is your mom.
Yes.
And it is your claim that your mom acknowledges that she kept your personal property when she told you and your son that you had to leave her home.
Yes.
And you want your property back. And your mom says you can have your property back when you pay her the money that you owe her. She seems to allege that you owe her some money for a cell phone bill, for property that you took when you left that didn't belong to you, and something for storage. Had you always lived with your mother?
No, I had not lived with her since I was 16.
And when did you move back?
It was February earlier this year.
And when did she tell you to leave?
I believe it was the 18th of June.
Why did you tell her to leave, Miss Jones?
There had been numerous times that I told her to leave because she became verbally abusive at different times, and told her that this was not working out.
So it wasn't working out because you didn't like her attitude?
Absolutely.
So you told her to leave?
Yes.
Okay. And on June 18th, did she leave?
I had reminded her on June 18th that as of the end of the month she needed to move. And I had told her that at the beginning of June. She was allowed to live with me as long as she was in school full-time.
Just a minute. You told her she had to leave.
Yes.
And what happened on the 18th of June?
She wanted to go to the storage and get her things, which I went with her to the storage and wanted her to sign the storage over to herself. It was in my name.
So?
She could not do that because she didn't have car insurance and they would not lease it to her.
Okay.
So during the day...
The storage unit is storage unit where she put her stuff...
Her belongings.
When she moved into your house?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
But earlier that day when I had told her that she had to move, her demeanor began to escalate and she became verbally abusive again and told me that she was going to take everything she could from me because I had not been the kind of mother I should have been to her.
Okay. So?
So with that knowledge and going to the storage, I decided that I was going to hold that property until she moved out and I knew that my property was safe.
And?
And when she left, when she moved that day, it was not safe.
Now, what was missing?
She took photographs off the wall. She took...
What photos?
There was a photo, a 1920 photo of my former mother-in-law who I was very close to, who is now deceased.
What else?
She took a rolling pin. She took lids to the Tupperware. She took a cutting board. I mean, mundane, silly things.
Okay, stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Anything else that was important?
She took money out of my closet.
How much money did you take out of your closet?
I'm estimating $200 to $300 in change.
Did you take any change from her house?
No, ma'am.
No. What else?
That's all.
So she took this property out of your house and?
And I asked for it back.
What else does she owe you for?
Just the storage and her cell phone.
Well, tell me about the cell phone.
When she moved in, she wanted a cell phone, and I told her she could use the landline phone that was in the home. She wanted a cell phone to run her little business that she was trying to create. And so I said, I will get you the cell phone, but you have to pay for it. She agreed to pay for that cell phone, which she never did. She also agreed to pay for her storage, which she never did.
Just a second. You got her the cell phone in February or March?
The beginning of February.
So you got the bill in February?
Got the bill in March.
And did you pay the bill in March?
Absolutely.
Did you pay the bill in April?
Yes.
Did you pay the bill in May?
Yes.
Did you pay the bill the beginning of June?
Yes.
Okay. Did you pay the storage bill?
I did.
Was your daughter working?
She was working part-time,
Yes.
and she was not paying me any money.
Good.
She kept saying, I don't have any money to pay you.
Just a second. Was she also going to school?
She was going to school, and I was paying for her books. I put her on my insurance. I
Just a
paid her
second.
medical, her
Fine.
co-pays.
Fine. How old are you?
24.
Okay. So, big deal. What I'm saying to you is, big deal. She came back to you for a reason. Difficult time. She's 24 years old. How old's your child?
He just turned 6.
Okay. So, she's clearly a young lady who's made some mistakes. Right?
Yes.
Okay. But she's doing the right thing. She's going to school. She's working part-time. She's buying her own clothes. At least she's trying to buy her own clothes. She's taking care of her from whatever little money she's making. I mean, it's not as if she's sitting around playing the guitar and eating bonbons all day. What do you want?
What I want is
Your rolling pin back?
I want what is fair.
I'm going to tell you what's fair. What's fair is 5 days from today, you want to open the storage unit. We'll meet there. You can have a police escort if you wish. She's going to take out her stuff. And as far as the rolling pin, the photos, and anything else, did you take any of that stuff?
No, Your Honor.
Shh.
No.
You have the photo that she's referring to. Don't lie to me.
No, I do not.
Did you take it?
No.
Okay. Did you promise your mother that you would pay for the cell phone?
No.
What about the storage? Did she ask you for money for the storage unit in March,
No.
April?
No, she knew I did
In
not
May.
have any.
Are you still in school?
Yes, I am. I'm full-time right now.
Who's supporting you?
Myself. I have 2 jobs right now.
Okay. 5 days from today, Ms. Pollard, your daughter gets all of her stuff back. I don't think that there's any basis for me to find that there was a loan on your part to your daughter for the cell phone or for the storage unit. I'm sorry if she was, in fact, fresh to you, and she might have been.
Well, Your Honor.
There's a whole history, so I'm sure that she probably said things that she shouldn't have. Did you say anything to your mother that you shouldn't have?
Yes, I did get very upset.
Okay. Well, you shouldn't have, because it's probably hurtful, and I'm sure she's done things to you that you felt were hurtful, and she reacted to that. But reacting to it does not create a loan. Your counterclaim is dismissed. Her property is to be returned to her within 5 days. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, Your
That's
Honor.
all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
30-year-old cashier Angela Mantha is suing her mother, cabinet maker Storm Linnell, for filing false charges with Child Protective Services. Storm says Angela's fiance is physically abusive.
Judges, is case number 352 on the calendar in the matter of Mantha versus Linnell. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Miss Mantha, this is your mom.
Yes.
And your complaint says that your mom filed false charges against you
Yes.
with Child Protective Services involving your daughter, who is how old?
6.
And you want to be compensated for your aggravation.
Yeah.
Your mother says she had legitimate concerns for your daughter's safety. And she had at some point been the caretaker for that child. Is that right?
Yes.
And that's why she called Child Protective Services to do an investigation. So I have to get some facts. Is this your only child?
No, I have a 9-month-old son also,
Who's the father of that child?
Jason.
This is Jason.
Yes.
Jason, you stand up there because I may have some questions for you. How old are you?
I'm 24.
Now, your daughter was born when you were 18.
Yes.
Where is her father?
He's incarcerated right now.
So that was a big mistake.
Yeah.
And when did your daughter go and live with your mother?
She was probably 14 or 15 months old. It was right after her first birthday.
What's her name?
Jasmine.
Why did Jasmine go and live with your mother?
At the time, I didn't have a stable place for her to stay. I was living with my boyfriend, who was an alcoholic, and he had friends in and out of the house all hours of the night. I didn't have my own job, so I couldn't take care of myself and support us on my own, and it wasn't a good place for my daughter to be.
Were you doing any drugs or alcohol?
I was drinking a lot.
Was the child removed from your custody by the state, or was this initially voluntary?
Voluntary.
Was the state ever involved in
No.
placement of your daughter with your
No.
mother? How long did Jasmine stay with your mother?
6 months.
And then the boyfriend went to jail? Or you left?
I just left. I moved out of there. I decided it was time for me to be a mother, and I moved back in with my mother and my daughter.
And how long did you stay?
6 or 7 months, maybe.
And then
Just
where
long
did you-
enough for me to get a job and get out on my own.
And your mother let you take your daughter?
Yes.
With no fight?
No fight.
So far, I got it. You were off track, came back home, you got on track, your mother was there for you. She was there for you to pick up the slack, taking on the responsibility of a toddler, took on you as a responsibility when you moved home. She saw that you had gotten it together, you moved out with your daughter, moved into your own place.
Yes.
No boyfriend.
At the time, no.
Then what happened?
I moved out for a while. I had actually moved in with a coworker of mine. And at that time, that was probably the first time that my mother had called CPS on me.
Why do you think she did that?
Honestly, I'm not really sure. I don't really know.
Who was this coworker? Male?
Yes.
Maybe she didn't approve.
She knows who he is.
Is he a good person?
Yes, he is.
And how long did you live with?
Actually, probably about a month and a half.
And then where did you go?
Back to my mom's.
Because that didn't work out?
Right.
Went back to your mom's, and how long did you stay with your mother?
After that, probably 4 or 5 months, maybe.
Then where did you go?
Then I got my own place again.
How long did you have your own place?
I stayed there for 9 months.
Then what happened?
I moved out, and I moved in with my Aunt Becky, actually. And I stayed with her for probably about a month. That's when I met him, and we found our own place.
How long did you know Jason before you moved in with him?
A year and a half, maybe 2 years. I worked with him also.
What kind of work do you do, Jason?
Right now, I drive garbage truck.
You have children?
Yes.
How many?
3.
Including the 9-month-old? Where are your other 2 children?
One is living in Bangor with his mother, and the other is in Tennessee.
Were you married to either of those 2 ladies?
My second child, I was married to her.
How old are you?
27.
So you're 27. You have 3 children. 2 of them you don't see.
One of them I see every weekend. During the summer, I see him every other week.
So only one of them you don't see.
Yes.
You support the other 2 children?
I pay child support every week.
For both of them?
Yes.
Okay. You would acknowledge to me, would you not, that you have not had a stable life thus far. Is that right?
That's correct.
And that if your mother had concerns about you, they would be legitimate concerns based upon your history, right?
Yeah, yes.
Why did you call Child Protective Services the last time, and when was it, if you'd like to tell me?
Mid-September of this year.
Tell me why.
Well, there's been an ongoing situation with Jasmine saying that Jason has been mean to her.
Has she been more specific?
Just that he's been physically mean to her twice.
Well, she didn't use the word physically.
No. He grabbed her by the back neck and ran her into the bedroom one time.
You mean like this?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
And once he had smacked her on the back of the head like this. That's how she explained it.
Okay.
You know, I was worried about that, but I tried talking to Jasmine. I said, you could talk to Mama about this. Let Mama know what's going on. She says, I do, but Mama gets mad at me if I tell her Jason's mean to me. And I says, well, I'll talk to Mama. Well, I tried talking to Mama about things that have been going on. Mama don't want to listen to me.
You mean those 2 things? Was there anything else?
Yes, ma'am.
Well,
yes,
I'd like to know what else.
Well, I was taking my, you know, I have my granddaughter a lot, sometimes up to 4 times a week over weekends. On several occasions during the last few months, when she was time for her to go home, she hung right on to me. Please, Mammy, I don't want to go home. I don't want to stay. Her mother literally had to peel her off of me to keep her in her home because she said she was afraid of Jason. And then on an occasion in August, Angela had gone out with a bunch of her girlfriends, and one of them happened to be my future daughter-in-law. And Sharon,
your
my
future
daughter, she is my daughter-in-law now, had come to me and told me that on that occasion when they were getting ready to leave, Jasmine clung onto my daughter, holding on to her, saying, Mom, please don't leave me with Jason. And they literally peeled her off of Angela, left her with Jason, and went out drinking anyways. Now, this has been an ongoing situation since Angela's been 17. She had a baby when she was 17, Your Honor. She turned 18 a month later. That left me responsible for...
Oh, I understand. So that's the reason that you called Child Protective Services. So, let me hear you.
History.
Your Honor, I talk to my daughter a lot. We have a good relationship together. She has never told me anything like that. She has not said anything about Jason. She's always talked good about him. She's here right now. I would love to have you talk to her if you would do that.
Mm-hmm. I will.
I would like you to.
Sure.
When Child Protective Services came and did their investigation, did they give you any sort of a report afterwards?
Yep. I have a closing statement and I have the assessment. I also have a copy of a random drug test that they give Jason at his work, just because she says we have excessive drug and alcohol use in the home.
Okay, just hold on to those things. I'm going to go and speak to Jasmine. Why don't you all have a seat for a couple of minutes?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You leave with her, you stay someplace else for a month, then you come back to your mother, then you leave your mother, then you go back to your aunt. So this child at age 6 has absolutely zero stability. Fair statement?
No, Your Honor.
Of course it is.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Angela Mantha says her mother, Storm Linnell, filed false charges with Child Protective Services. Storm says she was worried about her granddaughter.
Jasmine really didn't want to talk to me. She's a little upset. I think she's upset because, you know, she's in a strange place and she knows that this is all about her. She probably knows that there's been a lot of friction because of, she views it because of things that she says.
She loves my mother. She really does.
Oh, well, there's no question in my mind she loves her mother. Okay, so let's talk about objectively what we have. First, let me see the closing statement from Child Protective Services.
His drug test is in there, too. I don't know if you want that, but...
Okay. Do you think that your mother maliciously called Child Protective Services?
Yes, I do.
Tell me why you believe that your mother maliciously called Child Protective Services.
Because during the last fight that we had when we was all at my Aunt Becky's house, she told me right then and there that she was going to do anything in her power to get Jasmine. What that means, I don't know.
Well, in what context did she say that to you?
Well, we were fighting.
What were you fighting about?
What happened is when I come in, I was on the road all day. I had a lot of doctor's appointments and stuff, and I had my son with me, who was 9 months old. And I brought him in to feed him and change him. And I don't smoke around my son, and when I walked in, everybody put out their cigarettes. Well, I guess a guy that was there, Kevin, still had a cigarette going. I did not see him with a cigarette in his hand. And then my mother lit up a cigarette, so I just started packing the stuff up, and I was just going to leave. I didn't want to start anything. And she just
This was at your aunt's house?
This is at my Aunt Becky's house, yes. And that's when she started in. She's like, well, I don't know why you didn't say anything to Kevin about him smoking. And I was like, I didn't see him with a cigarette. I really didn't. If I had seen him, I would have said something to him.
Go ahead.
And that's when it all started. And we exchanged some words back and forth. She's talking about how I'm not a very good mom and this and that. And she looked at me. She's like, I will get Jasmine. I will do anything to get her.
Well, that wasn't the first time that your mother has called Child Protective Services.
No. I've had Child Protective Services call them like 3 times. 2 for a fact I know with my mother.
Any of them when you were living with Jasmine when she was a baby?
No. The first time is when I first moved back from Bingham. I think that my mother might have moved out and I was renting her place from her. Myself and my girlfriend Amanda and Jasmine were living there. That was the first time CPS was at my house. The second time is when I moved to Joe with my girlfriend Amanda and Jasmine.
Mm-hmm.
And
that lasted for a month before you moved out, if my memory is correct.
And he was only at my house once, and he left, and he never come back. I don't know what happened to that.
I don't know either.
No.
I don't get the sense that your mother called maliciously.
No.
No. I mean, for the first 14 months, you were not living in a reasonable relationship because you were drinking. Father of the child was drinking.
No,
There isn't a question in my mind that during the initial period of her life, the child was neglected. Then she goes to stay with your mother. You come back and stay with your mother. Then you leave with her. Then you stay someplace else for a month, someplace else for 5 months. Then you come back to your mother. Then you leave your mother. Then you go back to your aunt. So this child at age 6 has had absolutely zero stability. Fair statement?
No, Your Honor.
Of course it is. I mean, just look at it. I'm looking at it objectively. The child has had, in 6 years, no stability. She's had Joe, she's had Jason, she's had her father, she's had I don't know who else. She's had her mother, she's had her grandmother, she's had her aunt. At age 6, she's had no stability. So I'm telling you as an outsider that thus far as a mother, you have not been terrific.
That's fair.
Then you hook up with Jason, who was in his 20s, who already has had 2 major mistakes. One a marriage, one an out-of-wedlock child. And I don't know anything else about him. But I do know that there is cause for concern because your track record's not terrific.
To be honest, you know, I never said that I was a great mom when my daughter was a baby, because I wasn't. But for the past 3.5 years, I've provided a more than stable home. I've been working full-time, or, well, part-time. I have a beautiful home, transportation. She's in school, she's healthy. She's in soccer and Girl Scouts. I do a lot with the school for her. My whole life revolves around her now.
No, it doesn't revolve around her. It revolves around her and a 9-month-old.
Well,
and his
exactly.
child who's there all the time.
Exactly.
According to you.
But I treat all the children the same. I don't give anybody
that's a
special
problem.
attention. That's a problem?
Yeah. In your daughter's eyes, that's a problem. If you treat everybody the same. It just is. That doesn't mean she's right. She's 6 years old. But she had her grandmother, who was her focus. Mm-hmm. You've taken that away from her. Because according to what I read, she doesn't see her grandmother anymore.
She hasn't for 2 months.
According to this. So that's true. So she hasn't seen her grandmother in 2 months, so you've taken that piece of stability away from her. Now, I'm not saying that she was Mother of the Year, because according to what I read, you had some problems yourself. Is that a fair statement?
Yes, ma'am.
Series of relationships that went nowhere?
No, ma'am.
Well, according to your daughter, that's true, that your husband was killed?
Yes, sir.
And that after your husband, you had a series of relationships?
I've had 2.
That were in some way abusive and or alcoholic?
That's why he's gone.
Well, it doesn't make any difference.
Yes,
it was
you're
there
right.
with your daughter.
Yes, ma'am.
When she was growing up, so she was involved with it. So what I'm saying to you is you have to understand that nothing is perfect. People do make mistakes.
That's right.
What I'm suggesting to you is the only focus for me right now is the 6-year-old who has one constant that's no longer in her life, taken away abruptly. She has to share her mother with a sibling, which is very often traumatic for a young child, even a young child who hasn't had the kind of history that your daughter has had. And she also shares that child with a pseudo-stepchild, because you're not married to him. So that's not a stepchild, but it's somebody that comes over periodically. Plus you work part-time, so you got a full plate. He doesn't sound like a terrible guy, but a self-acknowledged bad temper, right? Yeah. And he says he has a bad temper when he's helping the children out with their schoolwork and they don't seem to get what he's telling them, so he has a tendency to yell. Is that right?
Yes.
Well, I assume that your 9-month-old doesn't go to school.
No.
Not yet.
So I assume that the child that you're referring to is Jasmine.
Mostly I was referring to my son.
Well, he's not with you Monday through Friday to help with his schoolwork.
Actually, Your
tried to
Honor,
help
sometimes he is.
Sometimes is not all the time. Jasmine lives there full time.
I was referring to my son. Jasmine, I tried.
It certainly doesn't say that here. So she's got a very full plate, your daughter. And I'm not going to get involved with whether or not it's a good idea or a bad idea for you not to let her continue to see her grandmother. I don't have enough information. Off the top of my head, I would say it's a tragic mistake for her, because it's the one constant that she's had in her life, because you've had several different men. You've had her father, you've had Joe, you've had Tom, you've had Jason, you've had whoever in your life. And one constant she has is your maternal family. And if you cut them off, I think that that's a big mistake. But I see no malice in your mother's phone call. Go ahead.
May I say something? I haven't cut her off from my complete family. My grandmother had 14 children, and I'm very close with all of them.
Okay.
And if I could say one more thing else, my grandmother done this exact same thing to my mother and my Aunt Becky. And there was no reason then, and there's no reason now, is the way I look at it.
Well, as I said to you, I don't get the sense that there was a malicious intent on the part of your mother, and it's very possible that your daughter did say to her, I can't tell you, because then Mommy said I can't see you anymore. That makes sense to me. That was in your mom's answer. I can't tell you what's going on because Mom says I can't see you anymore. And I can hear that conversation. You know, if you're going to talk to Grandma about what goes on in the house, I'm not going to let you see her anymore.
I would never say that.
It's sort of interesting for her to at least attribute that to the child, whether you said it or whether you didn't. It's not a good idea for you to inquire about what's going on in the house. That puts your granddaughter, if you do, in a very difficult situation. In any event, I assume that you will work out whether or not you see your granddaughter between the two of you. As I said, I think it's probably not in your daughter's best interest not to see her grandmother, but I see nothing malicious about the phone call to Child Protective Services.
She has been malicious as far as to the people in my community. I live in a small town. I grew up in that town, and that whole town thinks nothing but bad about me and Jason now. She's told people that Jason's molested Jasmine.
I have never, ever accused him of molestation.
That should be on,
I have
on that
never.
report.
They asked me if I thought that might be the case, and I said, I don't really know. That's something I can't say because that's nothing that was brought up.
She's a 6-year-old child who has a yeast infection, according to the reports. And for somebody who may not be schooled, they may not know how you develop a yeast infection, but certainly sexually transmitted disease is one possibility.
Your Honor, my doctor told me that yeast infections are caused in little girls by sitting in a soapy bathtub.
That's possible.
It is very
possible. No, it's possible, but I will tell you now that for a 6-year-old to have a yeast infection who does not have a history of taking antibiotics, which sometimes causes that for a long period of time, might be problematic for a grandmother. She says she's never made those statements. I have nobody here to counter that, but I see nothing in the history of this case that suggests to me that she made any calls maliciously. So your case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Cashier Rosella Marion is suing her ex-boyfriend, air conditioner repairman Jason Lauterbach, for the return of her belongings. Jason is countersuing for damage to his parents' yard caused by Rosella's dogs.
Yes, case number 326 on the calendar in the matter of Marion versus Lauterbach. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats.
Miss Marion, you and the defendant were together, according to your complaint, for 9 years.
Yes, ma'am.
And for a good part of that period, you lived together.
Yes, ma'am.
Who is this?
This is my mother, Your Honor.
The two of you lived together in his mother's house, at least for part of the time.
Yes, Your Honor.
For how many years?
We lived in her house from November of '02 to March of '03.
And prior to that, where did you live?
In Texas, Your Honor.
Just the two of you?
Yes.
Have you ever been married?
No, ma'am.
How old are you?
I'll be 30 next month, 29.
And how old are you?
30, Your Honor.
Your lawsuit, Miss Marion, claims that when the two of you separated, when you moved out of his mother's house, he retained some property that belongs to you. That was your property.
Yes, Your Honor.
You want it back.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Lauterbach says that you took whatever you wanted, whatever you left was either his property or property that the two of you accumulated during the course of your relationship, and he is counterclaiming. His counterclaim is for damage that your dogs caused to his mother's landscaping, and he said that there was some sort of an agreement that the landscaping would be refurbished by you after you left, or if and when your dogs did any damage to the property. I read Mr. Lauterbach's answer, and I read it very carefully, so I have to ask you a few questions just for my own curiosity that really have only a marginal piece of interest for the case.
Okay.
But for me, it's fascinating.
Okay.
You look like an intelligent young woman. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Lauterbach says that about 6 years ago, you were told him you wanted to marry, you were interested in marrying and starting a family, and he said to you 6 years ago, I'm not interested in marriage.
Right.
And the reason that the two of you separated recently, by the way, what month did you separate?
August, Your Honor.
The reason you separated and the reason you left is because you once again said to him, I want to get married, you know?
Yes, ma'am.
My clock's ticking. Want to get married. And once again, Mr. Lauterbach said, listen, I don't think you heard me the first time, dear. I told you I wasn't interested.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
That's about it. Yes, Your Honor.
So the first thing I'm going to tell you is I'm going to tell you and everybody else who may be within earshot of these words. When a man says, I'm not interested in getting married, they usually mean it.
Okay.
All right?
Sure.
And unfortunately, life is not fair. Women have a much narrower blossom, for want of a better word. You see, He can go out there, and when he's 65, he can make a baby. He may not be able to walk it around the block, but he can start a family at 65.
Sure.
I mean, Charlie Chaplin was, I don't know, 106 when he decided to have children. Women don't have that advantage.
Right.
Right? So he wasted a good deal of your time. To his credit, he told you he was wasting your time.
Yes, Your Honor. I thought he might change. My fault. My fault.
They don't change.
I know.
They only get worse.
I know this now. Yeah.
Yes.
Great.
Just my own curiosity. Could you stand up just for a second? Who else lives in your home with you?
My husband and my youngest son.
How long have you been married?
23 years.
You think that they get better as they get older?
Do they get better? No.
You just get used to them. What property do you want?
I would like my NASCAR collection back.
NASCAR collection! Before you answer this question, you're going to tell me that this is property you accumulated together?
Mostly, yes.
I want you to watch my face very carefully. And just think of the 9 years of her life that you've wasted. She gets the car collection. You got it? You got it?
Okay.
Thank you.
What else?
There is a fine bone china collection that was given to me because I took care of a lady's elderly mother who has since passed.
He doesn't look like he eats off fine bone china.
No.
Right?
I have no idea where these dishes are or what they are.
I can tell you
never
where
saw
they are.
them.
Just a second. She's going to tell us.
Okay.
It's in the holiday closet in the hallway in the back in a white box marked fragile all over it.
Know where that is?
I can look.
We're going to find it. What else?
There is a camera that's
What
an
kind of
Olympus camera. I have the box, Your Honor. He gave that back to me, but no camera.
Where's the camera?
The camera is mine at the house
Well, tell me how it's yours.
because I bought it with my money
For you or for the two of you?
for me.
He purchased that camera for me in 2000 for my, how old am I? 27th birthday.
Does that sound right?
No.
When did you purchase the camera?
It was back in Dallas. As far as a date, I have no idea. I wish I had the receipt.
Well, she does. She said if you don't remember, she remembers. She says you bought it for her birthday.
Okay.
And you gave it to her for her birthday, and you don't remember when you bought it.
No, I don't remember when I bought it.
She remembers.
Okay.
She gets the camera.
Okay.
Along with the china and the NASCAR collection.
Okay.
Don't get piggish. What else?
There's a pink doghouse, Your Honor, that is for my dogs. And,
Pink doghouse.
yes.
She's welcome to that.
What else? What else? Come on, wrap it up. So far, you're batting 1,000.
I'm sorry.
We're going to get to the landscaping.
There's an e-machine computer, Your Honor. Now, this is a little, I'm not sure how this is going to go because...
If you're not sure, don't go there. But so far, you're batting 1,000.
I know, but his mother and I went to Walmart, and I purchased the computer, but his mother put it on her credit card, and I paid her 2 days later with cash. But she claims
Did she
that
pay
I
you back?
never-
No.
Well, that has nothing to do with him, you see. That's between the
Yes,
two
I
of
know.
you. So, next time, if you feel like suing her, you can. What's next?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You know the dogs were coming?
I told her she had to get rid of them.
Oh, you did, but
Yes.
you moved in anyway.
I wasn't going to leave her by
Just
herself.
a second. You moved in anyway.
Yeah.
With the dogs.
Yes. With the dogs.
And later today,
I had made it known to her that I could not have afforded to buy the car and an engagement ring.
He said, why buy the milk when you can get the cow for free? He had no intentions of getting married.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Rosella Marion says ex-boyfriend Jason Lauterbach owes for the return of a NASCAR collection, fine china, and a ring she won in Las Vegas. Jason says Rosella is mad because he won't marry her.
What else?
Oh, there's a mini refrigerator, Your Honor, that I purchased at Lowe's. I have the receipt for that.
Mini refrigerator.
I have that. She bought that for me upon my return to Albuquerque so I could put snacks I liked in my room.
In your room?
Yes, ma'am.
You didn't share a room with her?
It was our room, but she said it was for me.
It was our
That's why
room.
I kept it.
How much did you pay for it? 50 bucks?
80, Your Honor.
Forget it. What's next? What's next?
That's it, Your Honor.
Good, perfect. We've resolved your case. All those things, go back to her. Now let's get to your landscaping. Okay, I have a few questions for you. You moved in together in your mother's house in the year 2002?
I'm not good with dates.
2002,
I think so,
is that right? November of 2002 is what you said?
I moved in 2002, Your Honor.
Okay.
He moved in March 2003.
That's right.
So you moved in with his mother before he moved in with his mother?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did you have any arrangement with his mother about your dogs?
Yes, ma'am. I asked her several times because I was very concerned. I have a Great Dane, Your Honor, not a small dog. I have a Pit Bull Chow Mix, Your Honor, that's 88 pounds. I have a Mutt, that's 43. That's like over 250 pounds a dog. And she said, fine, I don't care what it takes, just as long as you guys get back here. She was very excited for us to get back. So, yes,
Okay.
she agreed.
Fine. What?
When I could say something?
Right now.
Okay.
Did
Yes,
you welcome
she
enter the
did.
house with the dogs?
Well, did I welcome? I wasn't going to stop her from moving in because of the dogs.
Good.
Okay.
Perfect.
But I did not, as far as just saying that she could bring these huge animals into my home and that it would be okay, you know, just to cause damage. It's more than just the dogs. It was also cats inside the house.
You invited her.
Well, I did.
Good.
I did.
Good. Have a seat.
Okay.
And they ripped up the garden?
The yard, the
They
entire
ripped up the
backyard.
yard?
Yeah.
And they have been doing that since November of 2000. Shh. Okay. And they have been doing that since November of 2002.
Yes, ma'am, I do have
What kind
pictures.
of? I'm not interested in
Okay.
pictures. What do you do for a living?
HVAC tech,
What is that?
air conditioning, heating and AC.
So, you work with your hands?
Mm-hmm.
I want you to take care of your mother's yard on the weekends. Go get some sod, go get some seed, rake it up, take care of it. Do you understand?
No,
This was your problem together. You lived together before with the dogs, I assume, in Texas, is that right?
Yes.
All right. And you were moving to be close to your mother? And you knew the dogs were coming? You knew the dogs were coming?
I told her she had to get rid of them.
Oh, you did, but
Yes.
you moved in anyway.
I wasn't going to leave her by
Just
herself.
a second. You moved in anyway.
Yeah.
Good. With the dogs. With the dogs.
Against my, yeah. Yes, with the dogs.
Deal with it.
Okay.
Got it? Property within 5 days. Thank you very much. That's all.
I didn't get to defend myself at all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I don't know what happened.
I thought men would change, and I've learned they don't.
I have 3 letters of her cheating on me. Speaking of wasting 9 years.
I told him that I wanted to get married and have children, and he said no.
I've got another one from Dear Abby telling her to seek mental help.
Men don't change.
And now the next case.
Parties on in Cabo versus Butterworth. Step forward, please.
Postal worker Diego N. Cabo is suing his ex-girlfriend, Treva Butterworth, for unpaid rent and for the down payment on a car. Treva has a countersuit for the unpaid balance on the vehicle.
Mr. Rancabo, you dated Miss Butterworth briefly, according to what I've read, and I gathered that while you were dating her, her former boyfriend was incarcerated. Is that true?
Yes.
And she had run into some hard times, and it's your claim that you loaned her some money to pay her rent, and that you also gave her an engagement car because you were going to buy her an engagement ring. She said, I don't want a ring. I can't use a ring, but I could use a car. So you put the down payment on a car, and since it was instead of an engagement ring, you think she should give you the down payment back.
Correct.
Miss Butterworth says that she received those things from you. Both were gifts. The car was a gift, the rent was a gift, and she is counterclaiming. You ready for this one? She's counterclaiming for the rest of the payments that she has to make on the car because she says it was a gift and that you should, despite the fact that your relationship is over, continue to pay for the car as you promised you would. That's your counterclaim.
Yes.
Okay. So I need some dates from you. You started to date Miss Butterworth when, sir?
Approximately by my birthday, which was January 6th of this year.
When did your boyfriend go to jail, Miss Butterworth?
He was incarcerated for 18 months. It was 2002.
Starting when?
March of 2002.
Okay. You have children?
Yes, I do.
How many children?
I have 3.
Did they all 3 children live with you?
Yes.
Are any of the children of the boyfriend who was in jail?
Yes, 1.
The youngest?
Yes.
Is this the boyfriend?
Yes.
So, when was the boyfriend released from jail?
July 27th.
When was the car purchased?
On July 11th.
Mr. Tell me the circumstances surrounding that, Mr. Ancabo.
Okay, well, a family member had the car and was looking to sell the vehicle. We both took a look at it and decided that we wanted to buy the car.
Were you living with her at the time?
Yes, I was.
Go ahead.
And so on that date, we went over to her parents' house and we signed the contract. I made payment on the car and we took possession of the car.
So?
I had made it known to her that I could not have afforded to buy the car and an engagement ring, so I had asked her which one did she want. She said it was okay to get the car and that would be her engagement ring.
Yes, go ahead.
He said, why buy the milk when you can get the cow for free?
Why what?
Why buy the milk when you can get the cow for free? He had no intentions of getting married.
Why don't you tell me your version of what he said to you when he bought the car?
First of all, my dad had sold his car and I detailed it for him. And he was like, oh, wow, if I had the money, I'd buy that for you. And he wanted quite a bit more. He didn't want to have payments. So when my stepbrother was selling his car, he says, oh, that's a great car. He went over, he took a look at it on his own with my stepbrother, came back, that's great, it's immaculate, it's, oh, what a steal, he's going to give it to me for $2,500 since I'm buying it for you. And I was like, well, did you drive it? He goes, oh, no, I didn't even get in the car and start it up. It looks so good. I just knew I had to have it.
All right. So July 11th, he purchased the car. Boyfriend got out of jail July 27th. How long did it take for the boyfriend to move back in with you?
He still hasn't moved back in with me.
Well, he's here today. Where did he sleep last night?
He stayed the night with me last night.
Excuse me?
He stayed the night with me last night.
Of course. So, whether he moved in with you or whether he didn't move, how long did it take him to come back into your life?
I believe he contacted me a day or two after he was released.
And then?
He wanted to see his son.
And then how long did it take for him to move out of your life?
It was probably 3 or 4 weeks.
And by that time, you've had the car for about 3 weeks.
Correct.
Right? I just want to know about your counterclaim. You don't get the money. We don't have engagement cars, sir. You have engagement rings and you have cars. There's no issue that this was a loan. This was not a loan that you made for her. It was some sort of a hybrid of something. I don't know what it was. You certainly didn't take into consideration that he was getting out of jail July 27th and you were going to be nudged out of bid. So the car is a total wash. Your down payment, sir, is gone. Finished. Over. Got it? Now let's talk about the rent. You say she owes you for rent. Tell me about it.
Well, the month after we started dating, the defendant had made numerous, references that.
Look at me
that
when
she
you
thinks
look
that
at me when you're telling me the story, sir, so I can tell whether you're telling me the
Sure.
truth.
Yeah, she kept insisting that we move in together because she didn't want me to live, out of 2 houses. She kept
Was
saying.
she working at the time?
No, Your Honor.
She needed somebody to pay the bills.
Yes, Your Honor.
And it was a short term because he was getting out of jail in July.
Yes,
Keep going.
But she had already given me or sent me letters that told me that she was never going to get involved with her boyfriend again, that she actually sent a letter to him while he was in prison saying that it was over.
He didn't believe her.
I believe it.
And she didn't mean it.
I did mean it.
Keep going.
When the March rent was due, the defendant didn't have the money to pay the rent, so...
Were you living there with her?
Yes, I was.
So you paid the rent?
Yes.
So? You think she made a fool out of you?
Yes, I do.
She probably did. What does that have to do with the court? You moved in with her. You paid the rent. You knew she wasn't working. You were supporting her.
Correct.
And the 3 children who lived with her, including his child, if she wasn't working. Then he came back, and she said, toodaloo, go. Then you say to yourself, I'm not going to do that again. I'm not going to be stupid again. She took me for a ride. But that doesn't mean that courts compensate you for that. Do you understand that, Mr. Ancabo?
Yes.
Now, Ms. Butterworth, do you honestly believe that a court is going to give you the payments for the car that remain outstanding?
I think that he is responsible for that car, yes. He gave me that car. He didn't give me that car half paid for.
He gave you the car in anticipation of the 2 of you being together.
Mm-hmm.
That was not your intention.
Many, 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 many things.
Good.
Many, many months.
Then, Miss Butterworth,
And
then I want you to...
told him-
Am I speaking? When I'm speaking, you don't.
Mm-hmm.
If he gave you many, 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 many things while you were together, and he's not saying, I want those things back.
Mm-hmm.
Those were gifts. We haven't spoken about those many, many things. You don't want to be responsible for the car payments anymore?
No.
Good, then give him back the car, and he'll take over the rest of the payments. Do you want to do that?
No, I don't.
Then make the payments. Thank you very much.
Can
This
I
case is
tell you
over.
something?
Child care provider Summer Oliver claims former employer Jamie DiMarino owes for unpaid wages. Jamie is accusing Summer of being a neglectful babysitter.
Miss Oliver, it is your claim that the defendant owes you some money for babysitting services, and the defendant says you've been paid. She's counterclaiming because she says because you were such an inefficient sitter, she lost money. When did you start babysitting for her child or children?
2 children. We had an interview on the 5th of January, and then she started the 8th of January.
And how did you find her?
My father had given me her number because she was running a local ad in one of the papers for daycare. So
How old are your children?
I have a son that will be 3 in a couple months, and my daughter just turned 6.
All right, January 8th is when she started, and what was the financial arrangement?
Anywhere from 150 to 170 a week.
Now, the first week that you babysat, did she pay you?
Yes.
And the second week?
Yes.
So we're talking about 1 full week of $150 that you claim she didn't pay you for.
The last week of her 2 weeks' notice.
What do you mean the last week of her 2 weeks' notice?
She gave 2 weeks' notice. She paid the first week, and she didn't pay the last week.
What days did she bring the children to you during that second week?
The last week, Monday, she brought both her children. Tuesday, she called me, and she said that she had been out drinking the night before, and she was hungover, so she would not be bringing her children Tuesday.
That's Tuesday.
Yes.
No, that's not true.
Wednesday, she brought both her children. Her little son had a terrible diaper rash, and he had diarrhea at my house that day. I called her to come pick her son up because he was ill. I actually had to take him upstairs and bathe him because he had defecated all over himself and all down my carpet.
Okay, go ahead.
The next day, Thursday, she brought him. He had defecated in his pants.
So he was soiled again?
Yes, he was.
What about her daughter?
Her daughter had diarrhea that morning, but she went to school.
Well, she's 6.
Yes.
Just a second. But she was there at your facility, at your home?
Yes.
The daughter until she went to school?
Correct.
Okay. And Friday?
Thursday, when she came to pick up her son, I called her and said, he cannot stay here. He is ill. I have got to put my other children in high chairs and fasten them in, and I have to take care of him. And it's dangerous. It's not respectful to my other kids or for me. I said, you need to pick him up. And she became very angry, saying he was not ill,
Okay.
and she tried to pass it off.
Okay. Ms. DiMarino, why did you give your 2 weeks' notice?
It's because I noticed that the level of care wasn't necessarily where it needed to be. The week right before I gave my 2 week notice, my son had his hand slammed in the door. He was unable to use his hand for a couple of weeks. His fingernails in turn fell off. I was never notified. I was never called. The first time I found out about this was when I arrived at her house. Now, my children seem to like her. However, she did not work well for me. Sometimes my job demands that I stay later. I can unfortunately never count on her to do so. I realized I'd made a bad mistake, and my previous child care provider had been in Egypt on vacation for over a month, so I decided to go back. I gave her my 2 week notice.
When you gave her your 2 week notice, the first week your children went to her home?
Yes, ma'am.
Every day?
No, ma'am. She went to the funeral that week. That was complete oversight on my part, and I paid her for the full week.
Did you go to a funeral that week?
Yes, ma'am.
What day did you go to a funeral?
Tuesday.
Were you available to babysit?
I was not.
Were you paid?
I was. And everybody else paid the full
I
amount.
don't care what everybody else did. Everybody else is not suing.
Well, I gave her credit of $120. The 3 days, I've added a $10 late fee as per our agreement that we had.
Just a second. It's not a late fee. There is a dispute as to whether or not you're entitled to be paid. So forget late fee.
Ma'am, she signed an agreement with me that she would pay a late fee.
Listen to me very carefully, which is why you are here. Do you understand? I want you to forget late fee. That's not happening.
She signed a contract that said that she would pay.
Listen to me.
Regardless if her children were ill.
I want you to pay careful attention to me. Anywhere in your contract does it say if you are unavailable to babysit, you get paid anyway?
No, ma'am.
So that some things are not covered by a contract. Is that right?
Right, but others
When
are.
there is a dispute as to whether or not you are entitled to payment, that falls outside the contract, just as the fact that you had a funeral to attend and you couldn't get anybody else to cover for you because your job is very personal in nature.
Correct.
So when you can't babysit for people whose jobs depend upon you doing your job, very often they lose their wages from their job. Correct? Do you understand? Yes. That's why sometimes contracts don't cover every eventuality. You are not entitled to be paid for the day you took off.
I'm not asking for that.
But you were paid.
That's why I gave her credit the next week.
But you were paid. Well, if you gave her credit the next week, let us assume that you're entitled to $150 for the week. That would mean that you are really only entitled to $120.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're suing her for $150. So now we're down to $120. Now, you explain to me why you don't feel as if your children went there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yes, ma'am. They were not there Tuesday because I had some prior arrangements.
That has nothing to do with her.
Absolutely.
That has no use. You have to pay her for that.
I had every intention upon paying her. Had my son came back being said that he was sick, which is what I told Miss Oliver on Thursday when she called me and said, you are aware you do owe me $120. And if you do not pay me by Friday at midnight, I will start adding $10 late fee. I said, that's fine. You're entitled to do whatever you need to do. However, my son will be at the doctor's at 4:30 today. If he is given a clean bill of health, I will not pay you a dime. If it is said that he was sick, I will pay you. My son was taken to the doctor. He wasn't sick. There was nothing wrong with him. She's the only person.
Show me the doctor's letter.
Yes, ma'am. My doctor is semi-retired, so all I could get was their notes. He won't be back until Thursday. State of Virginia will not release the records to you.
Well, then that's not particularly helpful.
I know it's not. It's the best I could do because Dr. only comes in a couple times a month. However, I have a statement from my sitter.
I don't need a statement. I don't read statements
She's
from
giving
you.
birth
I
in 2
don't
weeks.
read statements from your sitter.
She can't.
I don't read statements from your sitter.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You know, sometimes when a child has an upset stomach, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're sick.
Yes, ma'am.
But sometimes it does. And sometimes, if the daycare provider believes that the other children in her care are at risk,
yes, ma'am,
then the prudent thing for her to do is to say, listen, I don't want to risk the other children's health here. So, but there is no question that you owe her $120.
Even for the fact that I paid a separate daycare provider for that whole entire week, and she kept my children for 3 hours.
Listen, if for some reason you were unhappy,
I was.
You should have done what every reasonable parent does, which is not send your children at all. If you questioned her ability to care for
According
your
to this,
children. What?
According to her contract, I would have been liable.
Are you kidding me or what?
That's what it says.
No,
'Cause
are
I
you
initialed
kidding me
it.
or what?
That's what I
mean,
thought.
you're telling me that you question her ability to
did.
care for your children, but according to the contract, you'd be liable to pay for them anyway, so...
I
that-
would,
Should
unless
listen-
without 2 weeks. Yes, ma'am.
Let me ask you this question. You take your children to an amusement park.
Yes, ma'am.
And you buy your ticket.
Yes, ma'am.
And after you buy your ticket, somebody in the amusement park says to you, you know, I heard that yesterday 4 children were killed on that ride that you're going on. Now, you got your ticket in your hand. What do?
You don't go.
You don't, just a second. You don't go. You take your ticket, you throw it in the garbage because you're a mother, and you say, I'm not taking any chances. I don't care if I lose the $1.50 or the $3 or the $6 on the ticket. I'm not risking my children on a ride that could be dangerous. So, if you question the ability of a daycare provider to provide for your children, irrespective of whether you owe them the money, you don't take them.
Which is why they didn't come back.
Just as you don't take them. You don't say, I'm
I didn't
liable
want
to
to end up
pay.
here.
Hey, I'm liable to pay the money, which is why I sent them. Now, that's what you just said to me. You said you sent them because you were liable to pay
And
anyway.
there was no immediate danger, except for the fact that when she said there was something wrong with my son, nobody else observed this except for her.
Oh, I don't believe that that's true. Miss
nobody else
DiMarino,
observed it.
Miss DiMarino, I don't believe that she sent your son home with you and called you when she felt as if the child had an upset stomach, had a bad stomach. Could have been a virus, could not have been a virus, whatever. My sense is that she sent him home as much because it was a pain in the neck for her as anything else, because she says she had other children to take care of, and she was devoting all of her time to take care of your son and cleaning her carpet, which was irritating to her. Well, that's unfortunate. That's what you have to do when you take care of little babies. That's what you get paid for. In any event, you owe her $120. It was a bad experience. You got to pay her. Stop being a crybaby. If you didn't take your children there at all, and you said to me the last week, look, I felt my children were at risk at her house,
wow,
and therefore I'm not taking them, and you didn't take them, I might have had a little sympathy for you. But you took them. I have zero. You owe her $120. That's all.
Thank you.
Your countersuit is dismissed. It's nonsense. Your countersuit for your lost wages when she couldn't take care of your child, it's nonsense.
It wasn't for that.
Yes, it was.
No, ma'am, it was for the fact of, it wasn't for when she couldn't take care of my children. My countersuit was for when I had to miss a whole day of work because it was President's Day. She forgot to inform me she would not be taking care of my children. It was President's Day. I showed up with my children in tow, and I missed a whole entire day of work.
Which day was that?
It was President's Day.
February 19th.
February 9th. Is that in your contract?
It is. I take off all state holidays.
Is it in the contract?
Yes, it is.
Show me. That's all. Just has to be in the contract.
That I take off all state holidays And if she did not know what state holidays were...
Just show me. State holidays are observed, and I will generally not be providing care on those days.
Correct.
However, if needed, it can be arranged for an additional $40 a day.
She did not ask me to.
Just a second. Why?
Because those are the days my husband has off, and that's when we spend family time together. I did not take a vacation during the year like a lot of other daycare providers do.
Please ask for a list of state-observed holidays. Did you ask for that list?
I didn't need. I knew.
Did
when
you
it was.
ask for that list?
No, ma'am. I have a calendar.
So you know it was state holiday.
I did, and I thought I had arranged
No,
that
she did
day
not.
until I showed up and she answered the door in her pajamas 15 minutes later.
Just a second. What do you mean you thought you had arranged for her to
Because
take care?
I said I needed to work. I was aware that it was President's Day, so was she. I said I have to work on Monday. She answered the door in her pajamas and said, well, I'm not keeping any of my other children today, so I will not be keeping yours either.
Yeah, no, you don't got it. When did you arrange to have her babysit that day on the state holiday?
The prior week.
The prior week.
Yes,
did
ma'am.
She
did not.
No, she made that up. Just
No.
Counterclaims dismissed. That's nonsense.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
25-year-old Chad Navarro is suing the mother of his daughter, 23-year-old Jennifer Resnikoff, for stealing money from his bank account. Chad claims Jennifer used the money to buy drugs.
Mr. Navarro, you and Miss Resnikoff lived together for a period of time, and you also have a child together.
Yes.
According to your complaint, when you were living together, you gave Miss Resnikoff the ability to withdraw money from your bank account. She had access to your bank account, and that was with your permission to cover certain bills.
Yes.
It is your claim that she drained your bank account in order to purchase drugs.
Yes.
And you want her to reimburse you for the amount that she took without your authorization to purchase drugs. Ms. Resnikoff says that she did, in fact, withdraw the money from your bank account. It was a bank account that you gave her access to. She had withdrawn money in the past for household items, but that you had not given her sufficient money to take care of your child, and she purchased items for your child, and that was the reason that she took the money out of the bank. Is that right?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Resnikoff. When did Mr. Navarro give you access to the bank account?
I'd say probably about 4 months after we first met.
Give me the month and the year.
Approximately, I would say March of 2002, approximately.
So from March of 2002 until what date did you have access to the bank account?
Till we broke up.
Which was when?
Which was in August of this year.
During what months do you claim that she withdrew, without your permission, the bulk of the money, over $3,000?
Yeah.
September and October of what year?
5.
And when did the two of you break up?
We broke up maybe at the end of September.
October. Not August, it was October.
When was the last time you lived with Miss Resnikoff?
I don't really remember the dates. You know, I don't remember.
Was it 2 months ago or 2 weeks ago?
It was about a month, maybe 2 weeks ago.
I moved in with my brother 3.5 weeks ago, thank you.
That's not August.
Well, I was saying that in August and October she was taking the money out. In 8 and 9. Oh, August and September. Okay.
Can I see your bank statement? How old is your baby?
11 months, ma'am.
Where is the baby?
She is here.
Who does she live with?
Me.
Are you talking, sir, about where it says ATM withdrawals?
Yes. She had the card. She took it out of the mail.
What'd you spend all this money on?
My baby.
Baloney.
No, really. I have a witness that was there most of the times that I went out and purchased stuff.
Well, just a second. Who gave you the authority to do that?
Well, I thought, seeing that I was on the account, that I could access it without this being a problem.
You spent over $3,000 in a 30-day period on your baby?
I don't think it was $3,000.
Yeah?
Your Honor?
Yes, go ahead.
Right on the back page, you can see the checks that she wrote to cash. So, I mean, why would she write it to cash if she was just buying the stuff for the baby? She could have just went there.
Listen to me. It's baloney. I just said to you, it's baloney.
I was just saying, sorry.
Yeah, it's baloney. My question to you, Mr. Navarro, is something that, to me, is more serious than $3,000 out of your bank account. You have a son or a daughter with this lady?
Daughter.
And you separated, and she took the baby?
Yes.
And you say she's got a drug problem?
She's with her brother right now, and
So
she's
what?
been clean.
How do you know that?
Because
How do you know
I
that?
trust her brother. Her brother's my best friend, and I trust him. And
You trust him to what?
He's there all day.
Take your hands out of your pockets.
He's there all day.
Well,
and
why? He doesn't work?
No, he does work. He does eBay.
What do you mean he does eBay?
eBay, he sells stuff on eBay.
Where does he get the stuff he sells on eBay?
He buys it offline and then sells it like laptop computers and stuff like that.
Where does he get the money from to buy the stuff, sir?
Where does he get it? From eBay. He posts the stuff, he gets the money, and then he uses the money to buy the stuff again. You know what I mean? That's how...
Do I know what you mean? I know what you're telling me. I know what you're telling me. What do you do for a living?
Me? I'm a warehouse manager.
Let me tell you this, Mr. Navarro. If somebody has a $3,000 a month drug habit, which is what you're alleging, you don't get over a $3,000 a month drug habit unless you go into an inpatient facility for a long time. And I wouldn't believe my best friend who makes his money in some unorthodox way that his sister is clean. You following me, sir?
Yes.
That's what I would worry about. Not the fact that she took this money out of a bank account that you gave her access to, that she's had access to for 3 years. You should have been watching the store a little more carefully. Do you understand? Yeah. What I would worry about is my 11-month-old child, if you believe that she was using drugs, which is very easy to find out. You go to court, you file for custody of your child, they take her in, they do a drug test on her hair. They do a hair follicle test, and the hair follicle test will show what kind of drugs she had been doing over the last year, in what amount, and in what frequency. Not whether she used drugs the day before, but it will show a pattern of drug use. That's what you do. Do you understand? If that's what you think.
Well, she even admitted
to me. Have you done that?
What? No.
Take custody of your daughter?
No.
Well, then I hardly believe, sir, that a man, the only one in this whole family of 3, she, her brother, and you, the only one who works, who has a steady source of income for a long time, you're the only one who can manage to hold it together, has not done that. I said, it's okay for you. You can go live with your brother. You and your drug habit, and your brother in his unorthodox business can all go live together, and I'll do what I have to do. That's not what a responsible person does, Mr. Navarro. Responsible person doesn't leave an 11-month-old child with someone who had a $3,000 a month drug habit. You want to say anything?
Yeah, I did not have a drug habit. I had admitted to him that I had tried certain drugs, which I'm not proud of.
Just a second. Where did you get them?
Where did I get them?
No, I asked the question. Don't take time to think of the answer. Where did you get them?
From his...
He gave them to you for nothing, or did you pay for them?
I paid for them.
Out of this money?
Part of it, yes, but not $3,000 worth.
I don't care if it was 20 cents. She says she told you she got the drugs from your...
There was an intervention that we had, and everybody came over, and she admitted that she was doing the drugs, and she did not tell me.
She just told me she was doing drugs.
But it was more than that, what you admitted.
Listen to me.
It wasn't only that.
Listen to me, sir. I believe if she admits to a little, she used a lot. My problem with you, Mr. Navarro, is when you go to court and seek custody of your daughter, they will do a drug test on her mother. And I guarantee you that if it's established that she's been using drugs, the chances of you getting custody of your child, if you don't do drugs...
No. The thing is, if I do that, she said she would run, so...
She said she'll run?
Yeah.
Mr. Navarro, that's what they all say. That's what you're supposed to do if you feel as if your child is at risk. Do you understand?
Yes.
And then, if you have custody of your daughter, that gives her an opportunity to get a job, which now she doesn't have, right?
No.
And once she gets a job, you might get some of this money back. Won't be in the form of this, it'll be in the form of child support that she'll have to pay you to help take care of your daughter. You get it?
Yep.
That would be my concern, sir. My 11-month-old would be my concern. Is it yours?
Yes.
Good, your case is dismissed, that's all.
17-year-old Tomas Plancarte Benson says former friend Daniel Tingen cheated him out of $200. Daniel claims he and Tomas were partners in a bank scam.
Mrs. Benson, this is your son, Mr. and Mrs. Naylor, your son, and it is your claim, Miss Benson, that the defendant's son defrauded your son out of a couple of $100.
That's correct.
By some sort of scam with your son's ATM card. Mr. and Mrs. Naylor say that this was not a scam by their son, but sort of a thing that both boys did because they wanted some money, and your son is just not prepared to fess up that he was complicit in this little scam. So he's blamed their son.
Okay.
So why don't the parents sit down for a second, because they weren't there, they don't know what happened. The only two people that know what happened are these two people who were standing in front of me. Your first name is what?
Tomas.
And yours?
Daniel.
Daniel, how long have you and Tomas been friends?
For a couple of years now.
So why don't you tell me, Tomas, your version of what happened and when it happened?
All right. This situation all started on January 23rd of this year when I had lent Mr. Tingen $40 from my own bank account.
Where were you when he asked you for the money?
I was at home.
And where was the money?
It was in my bank account.
And where was he?
At his house, I presume, yeah.
Well, how did he contact you, sir?
Yeah, he called me. He had called me from his house.
And said what?
And said he needed 20 bucks. The first time. There's two transactions here. One earlier in the evening and then one later. And
Look at me, sir.
I'm trying to collect myself. I'm very nervous.
He called you once and said, I need 20 bucks, not 40.
It's 40. He asked me for 40 altogether. The first time he said he needed money for...
Mr. Benson, you're tripping all over yourself, sir. Look at me. You're tripping all over yourself, Tomas.
I'm very sorry. I'm very nervous.
Get unnervous, Mr. Benson.
It's very hard. Sorry.
He called you in your house on January 23rd and said, I need...
$20 first.
Okay. And you said...
Okay. I didn't ask him what he needed it for.
I didn't ask you. And then what did you do? Did you say, I'll meet you at my bank? Come over,
yeah. I said I'd meet him halfway there. Like, there's a street that we meet at, and then we head to my bank.
So you went to your bank on January 23rd and took out $20?
Yeah, just $20 first.
And you gave it to him?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
And then he called me later that evening and
Just a minute. Then he went home and you went home?
Yeah. And we went home.
Go ahead.
And then he called me later that evening saying he needed another $20. And so I said, all right, but that's kind of a lot of money that I'm lending to you. Could you pay me interest on it or something? And he agreed $10 interest, which would make it $50. And that was our agreement. And the way he was going to pay me back was getting a check from his grandma in the amount of $250 later that week. He was supposed to be getting this check. So then we agreed that I would cash this check through my bank. Then afterwards, I waited for...
Look at me. Don't look there.
I'm sorry. So then I was going to wait for a call from him. And then I finally got the call on February 2nd, Wednesday. And he said that he finally got his check from his grandma. And we'd met up. And we headed to my bank. And I looked at the check. And it was in the amount of $250. I signed my name to pay to the order of Tomas Benson. I have all this information right here. I have all this evidence.
I didn't ask you for anything. I asked you to tell me the story.
All right, we headed to my bank. I had looked at the check, seen that it was in the right amount.
You told me about that already.
Yeah, and then I put it in the envelope, put it on the ledge, grabbed my wallet to get my bank card out to the bank, put it in the machine, typed in the amount, $250 deposit, and sometime between that time, I believe that he had switched the envelope. He took an envelope with the check in it, and he...
Don't tell me what you believe, sir. I'm not interested what you believe.
But, yeah, I put it on the ledge. I typed in that I would deposit it.
You told me that already.
Yeah, I know. I'm telling you.
Don't tell me again. I have a very good memory.
Then I put the envelope into the bank, and then I withdrew $200 from my own account, and I gave it to him then because I thought the $50 was supposed to be mine, and then I'd give him $200 out of my own bank to make it even. And then afterwards, we just parted ways.
Subsequently, you advised that they had no envelope, they had no check, they had no nothing, and your bank account became overdrawn. Is that right?
No, I had money in my account.
Okay, but you were advised then that the account never was credited with $250 in that check. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So you thought that was a big scam. Mr. Benson, after you gave him the $200 in cash, where did you go?
Back to my house.
Where did he go?
I'm not very sure.
Okay, go. Let's start with January 23rd with the two $20 bills.
That's not true. He never loaned me $20 two times. That's not true at all.
I have statements here.
You don't have a bank statement showing that you lent him $20 twice? You have a bank
but I
statement
have
that they withdrew $20?
Two withdrawals for the amount of $20.
So what? He says you never lent him any money.
Well,
That's
I can show
what he
you
says.
my bank statements here. They show there's 2 transactions on that day.
I believe that there are 2 transactions on that day, sir.
Could I
But you
show
have no proof. I believe that there were 2 transactions on January 23rd. There is absolutely nothing to suggest that those 2 transactions had anything to do with him, other than your testimony. Is that right? Is that right?
I guess, yes.
Good. Go ahead.
Okay, on January 27th, when he did pull up the $200, we both split the $200 with that. I was supposed to, in interest, I was supposed to give him $50 later for it.
Just a second. You're getting ahead of yourself, Daniel. On the 27th, what happened?
Okay, me and Thomas met up. We had an idea. We were going to go deposit a slip with no check in it. We both knew what we were doing.
Just a second. On the 27th, you were going to deposit a slip.
Yes.
Just a deposit slip.
Yes.
Whose idea was this?
It was both of ours.
So you were going to put in just a deposit slip with no check.
Yes.
Draw out $200, but you would owe him $150. $50 of that was interest.
Yes, which I would have to pay later.
What made you and the defendant get together with this little scheme?
Because we wanted money to go out and party that night.
What night?
That night that we did it. I'm not quite sure what day it was, February 2nd, I guess.
Did you go out afterwards?
Yes.
The 2 of you?
Yes.
Where did you go?
Just to people's houses and stuff.
Well, what'd you need money for?
To buy stuff.
Drugs?
Go out and party. No, not drugs.
What?
Alcohol.
Did you go to mutual friends' houses? Look at me. Did you go to mutual friends' houses?
Yes and no.
What do you mean yes and no?
Well, I didn't know some of the people. We went over to somebody else's house I didn't know. We went over to one of my buddies' house that we both knew.
What's his name?
Josh.
Your Honor, I was barred from the premises of Cherry Park Apartments, so I could not go over to Joshua's house.
Why were you barred from there?
Because of an incident with my brother.
No. He got kicked out because they found out that he was dealing.
Dealing what?
Drugs.
No, I had actually been barred because I had a fight with my older brother who also lived in the apartments.
Tomas, if something doesn't make sense, it's usually not true.
What is it that doesn't make sense?
Your slick story. Now, Daniel, at first when this scam was discovered, what did you tell your parents?
I didn't tell them anything about it at first. I just thought that the less they knew, the better, I guess, at the time. I know I did something wrong. I didn't really want to fess up to it at the time, but now I think it's the right time. I shouldn't be blamed for everything. We did it 50-50. I'm admitting that we both did it and it was wrong, but I don't want to be the only one to blame.
Okay.
And another thing here.
Is that a police report?
Oh, yes, it is.
Can I see it, please?
And here's the case suit, which here, I'll show you both of them.
Miss Benson, is your son on probation?
No, he's not.
Had he been?
No.
You hesitated there for a moment.
He is going to LifeWorks program that he's going because he had a drug and alcohol problem.
When did he start it? You can stand up now.
He started, I think, in January of this year, I believe it was.
Ms. Benson, when did you find out about this money?
Right after the incident happened.
Well, tell me about how you found out about it.
I had found out because Thomas had gotten a letter in the mail saying that there wasn't a check in the envelope. And so he had come to me and told me he was very furious. And then he had made contact with the bank to find out what happened. He wanted an investigation.
So the first you found out about it was when your son came to you.
Yes.
And showed you what?
Showed me the letter he'd gotten from the bank.
Which is right here.
Yeah, I believe that there was nothing in the envelope.
Okay.
And I would have no reason to put a fake deposit slip in there because I had money in the bank already. If I really wanted to party, I can just pull money out of my bank and it'd be no problem.
Who handles this account for him?
He does.
I know.
How old was he when you let him start to take care of this money?
He started working when he was about 15, and he's really good with his money, very tight-fisted, and that's what I don't understand.
Well, he's not so tight-fisted if he was using some of his money for illegal things.
That is true.
Yeah, that's
However, I mean, when this incident happened, there would be no reason for him to put a fake deposit slip in there. If he already had money in there, all he had to do was just go out and pull it out.
That's true.
And they cut.
That's the only thing that I find troubling. Stand up. The only thing that I find troubling, quite frankly, is if this was his mother's bank account, or one that was a joint bank account, and they had, in fact, his mother of the money, right, I could understand he would stick to his story. But this was his money. If he was going to take money out of that account to split to go partying, he can do that.
Yeah, we're not denying the whole story. I'm saying the whole thing sounds fishy to me.
Well, it does sound fishy to me, but my question, the question that I have to ask myself, why would Mr. Benson get this letter from the bank on February 2nd that says there was no check in this deposit envelope and take it to show his mother?
I have no idea.
That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense to me
because if
either.
what he wanted to do was take out $200 and go partying with his friend, he would have done that. So why would he do this?
I have
Can
no
you
idea.
think of a reason?
Well, we weren't exactly both sober at the time either. We were the influence of alcohol, too.
You were?
Yes.
If you were under the influence of alcohol, why would he make up this story about a check and an envelope? Where had you been drinking?
Or we just walking around and stuff around town.
We hadn't been drinking. I wasn't drinking at all.
Well, first, when this whole thing started, they did come over to our house, and I was in the other room, and my husband was asking Thomas about this check, and he said that there was a check. My husband asked, okay, what was the color of it? Do you remember whose name was on it? What is the extra $50 for? And he said he was charging him $50 for cashing a check. And my husband asked him, why would you charge somebody $50 for cashing a check? I'm not, if these boys both did something, I didn't have a problem of paying the money back. I just wanted to come down to the bottom of the truth. And that's why I feel like we're here today.
Well, as I said to you, my problem is, why would he go to his mother?
Exactly.
If he was complicit in this incident.
I have no idea.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
And if it doesn't make sense, it's usually not true. The bank says there was no check enclosed. As a result, we've debited your account. Due to the nature of this transaction, we have disabled your ATM card to ensure that nobody is going to use it, but you can get another ATM card. If
Actually, they would not reissue me a card.
They cut it up right there.
Yeah.
And they won't give you another one?
No.
They were very sorry they had to do it
And I was
because he had built
very
a report
embarrassed
with
and
them.
humiliated because I would never defraud my bank. I knew everybody there very well, and I was very responsible with my money. I budgeted very well.
Well, that's not true. You bought some drugs with your money.
Every now and then.
What?
Every now and then, but...
Right. So that's not 100% accurate, right?
Well, compared to other people my age, I believe. Because a lot of people my age don't have bank accounts, don't have as much money as I did.
Miss Benson, he's very slick. He really is. He's very slick. I'm not sure, and I'm not convinced.
Well, I don't think he would have gone through all this trouble.
Yeah.
I mean,
Unless
making a police report.
He just gave me a reason. When did they cut up your bank card?
A few days after I received that letter, though.
Few days. Just listen to me carefully. When did you make a police report?
It was April 3rd or 4th.
After they cut up your bank card?
Yeah.
April 13th.
It was after they cut up my bank card.
Oh, that's a reason. That's a reason.
We tried to contact them. We were told by the officer that took the report to contact the family that it was a civil matter, and our phone number was blocked.
I don't care. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about whether your son was aware of the fact that there was nothing in this deposit slip that the two boys brought to the bank in order
I did not know that. I thought...
Listen! That's my job to figure out. He gave me a perfectly cogent story. You did not give me a perfectly cogent story. I'm still not comfortable that you were actually part of it. But I'm not comfortable enough, quite frankly, Mr. Benson, of $20 here and $20 there and another $10 in interest, making it $50. I don't know what it was about. Maybe it was drug money. Maybe he was selling you something. Who knows? I'm not comfortable with your whole story. I'm also not comfortable with saying to you that you were part of the scheme. That's not what I have to determine today. What I have to determine today is whether or not they're going to pay you either all or half of what came out of your bank. And since what you're asking me for is to make a determination that the nailers owe you $250, I'm not prepared to do that because I'm not totally comfortable with your story.
Ma'am,
What?
it's 200, not 250.
Thank you for correcting me, sir. What difference does it make?
That's correct. What difference does it make?
Right.
My son had also asked...
So there's no further issue. I'm not prepared to rule that you are entitled to $200 from the defendant because I'm not totally comfortable with your story, Tomas.
All right. Can I show you some emails that I had sent him beginning March 27th?
No, show me
22nd?
emails that he sent to you.
Well,
they're
yeah.
answering them right here.
Does he acknowledge that he owes you the
Yes.
money?
Yeah. Yes.
Let me take a look at it.
This began March.
Hand them all.
This was on the.
Shh. See these emails?
No.
I have more right here.
Yeah,
too.
I also have more right here.
Continuation of all that.
What's that all about, sir?
These aren't even from me.
Yeah, they are from you. What do you think
No,
about that, sir?
They're not. Seriously, they're not from me.
Who's Rob's dad?
Robert was his next door neighbor.
And what kind of work does he do for Rob's dad?
Who? I'm sorry,
Your
who?
son.
He does. They can do yard work for him.
And has he done that in the past?
Yes.
Yes.
That's what it says there. I'm doing work for Rob's dad.
Yeah, but I didn't write most of this.
Couldn't have made it up.
Shh. Got it? Look at me, Mr. and Mrs. Naylor. Now you got it?
Yeah, I understand. I just don't understand about the check. This is what the whole weird thing is.
Listen, I don't understand about the checks either. I don't. And I'm not certain whether Tomas is talking about $100 or $200, because nowhere in there does it say how much you think he owes you, because according to him, he acknowledges he owes you $100, right?
Yes.
But not $200.
No. I asked for another check, actually.
Well, why would you ask for another check? If he didn't have a good check the first time, why would he give you a good check the second time from his grandmother?
I know.
Interesting. And you did write that, Daniel.
Not all of it, though.
Daniel!
Daniel, just tell the truth. If you did
Not all of it, though. I'm telling them, but yeah.
So you acknowledged you owed him some money.
Yes.
Yes.
And you acknowledged that you had a job and that you were going to get him some money.
Yes.
The question is 100 or 200. Is that it?
It's 100.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $100. That's all.
20-year-old Kyle Jones is suing his mother, Barbara Crooks, for a loan to pay her bills. Barbara says her son is ungrateful.
Kyle, this is your mom.
Yes, it is.
It is your claim that you loaned your mother $2,000 that she needed when she ran into financial trouble with her mortgage. And you loaned her that money from your college loan fund. You were going to college at the time, and evidently you had taken out some financial aid.
Yes.
There was an agreement with your mother that she would pay you back so much per month. You claim she didn't do that. How old are you, Kyle?
I'm 20 years old.
And when did you lend your mother this money?
On January 19th, 2006.
Did your mother call you and tell you she needed money?
Yeah, on January 18th, 2006, she called me, said that she needed some money for her mortgage.
Why would you call him to ask him for money?
Given my financial situation, I knew that he would be able to help me out, and I knew that he obviously trusts me enough to help me.
Who else was living with you?
My husband, myself, my younger son, and my brother.
How old's your brother?
37.
And how old's your husband?
Same age.
So you call your 19-year-old child to give you money? Why aren't they working?
It wasn't that they weren't working. My brother's mentally handicapped. He's never had a job.
Well, so he must get disability.
Yes, he does.
Okay, so it's not as if you're taking care of him, the government takes care of him. Now, what about your husband? What kind of work does he do?
He works for a grocery store, does night stock.
So you have 3 adults in the house, at least one of whom is contributing through government subsidy to your household. You have a husband who works, and what about you?
I work full time.
Well, then how did you run into financial difficulty? You have 3 people all bringing in money into a household? How did that happen?
No savings, unexpected bills arise.
Like what came up in January of 2006?
It wasn't just January. In December, I got very ill.
Okay, so January?
In January, I had just a burden of bills. I felt as though if Kyle helped me out, I would be able to pay him back. There was never an agreement stating that I would pay him back X amount at any certain time. It was, Kyle, I will pay you back as soon as possible. No sooner did I start to give him some money, I found out I had cancer, ended up losing my job. So
well, what
if
about
I wasn't,
just a minute, what about your husband?
His income alone was not enough to cover our bills. I'm the breadwinner in our house. Always have been.
Well, you don't expect him to eat this $2,000, do you?
I don't expect him to eat this $2,000. All of that $2,000 back.
me.
I don't have receipts. If you have a 19-year-old living in your home...
Okay, so you're telling me you don't have receipts for paying him back, but what you did was you allowed him to live rent-free and you gave him spending money.
Oh, and I actually have some receipts where I paid his doctor's bill. I have receipts where I've paid to repair the damages that he's done to my home with his BB guns, with his homemade potato launcher or whatever it is. You know, it's not as though I just didn't give him money. I gave him money, but never thinking that I should have to get a receipt from a child who lives in my house who I support.
Absolutely, madam. You wouldn't have to get a receipt. You wouldn't have to keep notations unless you would borrow $2,000 from him that you said you were going to pay back. And you did say you were going to pay him back, because ultimately he has to pay back the government that $2,000. That's not free money.
I know. I went to school myself. I obtained my degree in 2002, working full-time, going to school full-time, and raising an ungrateful teenager.
If I only had 5 of these ungrateful teenagers who went through college on student loans with no help from their parents.
No help from his parents.
Well, I don't hear any money that you gave him towards tuition, room, and board when he was living in school. Did you pay his tuition? Did you pay his room? Did you pay his board? Did you pay for his books while he was living in school?
No, I didn't.
Well, that's what I just said. He had no help from you. He took out student loans, he took out grants, and you took money from that to pay your mortgage. When you have 3 adults in your house, one of whom doesn't work but gets government subsidy, I'm sure substantial government subsidy, because it's at least $600 a month. Would that be a fair statement?
Yes.
Of course. And I say at least. And your mortgage is how much a month?
$1,000.
$1,000 a month. So his money alone practically covers the mortgage, so that it's just the rest of the bills that you have in the house.
Can I show you some email and some evidence from him?
Evidence that shows what?
The damages that he's done to my home. I
That's
wouldn't
what
think of
teenagers
suing
do.
him.
That's what teenagers do.
Oh, they put
Under
BB
ordinary
holes in every wall of your house.
Let me tell you something, madam. You owe him $2,000. Be a good mother. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
22-year-old Leonardo Saucedo is suing his former roommate, 23-year-old Jessica Trejo, for breaking their apartment lease.
Mr. Saucedo, this young lady was a friend of yours, and you decided to rent an apartment together.
That's correct.
You signed a 1-year lease. It was a 2-bedroom apartment, from what I gather. You moved in. Shortly after you moved in, she moved out.
Yes.
And you were able to terminate the lease early, but it cost you several $1,000s, and you believe that because she moved out without any good cause, that she should be responsible for the early termination fees on the lease.
That's correct.
I've tried and tried to find the defense that is in Ms. Trejo's answer, and the best I can figure out is you were playing your radio too loud.
No, that's not true.
I don't know what her defense is. When did you move into this apartment, Mr. Saucedo?
We moved there September 2006.
And how long had you known the defendant before you decided to be roommates?
About a year. I had met her on MySpace.
You didn't have a romantic relationship?
We did prior to moving in. We were talking, kind of dating, but we ended that before we moved in because we didn't want to have conflict with each other.
And did that work out okay?
There was one occasion. Something happened, but that's it.
Everything else was...
Everything else was perfect.
She stayed in her room and you stayed in yours.
Exactly, yes. No problems. We both respect each other's space.
When did you move out?
February 2007.
Why?
Because I felt like I was not in a good environment, because he would have his music all loud. I would work 13 hours a day, 6 days out of the week, and my job is very serious.
What kind of job do you have?
I'm a laboratory technician.
Yeah?
And pretty much I have to get my sleep in order for me to do my bone marrow slides and whatever I do. And he would bring girls over to the house, always playing the music loud, and I could never get my sleep. I would come home 11 o'clock at night from work, and I would shut my door, try to go to sleep. I couldn't. There was always things slamming doors, slamming cabinets, and there was no way of me getting my sleep.
That's not true.
I would be going to sleep until 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning.
So that's your defense. Your defense was that he played the music too loud.
Not only that, Your Honor.
Well, then get to something more meaningful, madam.
Okay, another thing was we did have a sexual relation while we were living together. We did.
And?
And another thing was he owed a lot of money to me before we moved in. And, like, the money that he owed me and, like, the music and all that he was always playing. And not only that, but the foul language and the sex he was having with other girls. And I would always bring my friends over, which it was a 14-year-old daughter from my best friends.
Yeah.
And they would come over and come and visit me. And when they would come and visit me, it was at the wrong time, to the point that he would be having sex and the 14-year-old girl would be listening to that.
It's not true.
I'm still waiting for a legal reason for you moving out and breaking your lease.
Because it was not an environment for me to be in.
Should have thought of that before you signed the lease.
He was not like that the way we were.
He was always like, you mean he's a psychopath? He's got bipolar disorder? He's 2 different personalities? You know him for a year. This is who he is.
Yes, but before that, when we moved in together, he was not the way he was before.
So?
It was a whole totally different person.
So what you do is, since you work 12 hours a day, you say, listen, I'm going to stay in this apartment. You leave. I'll take over the lease. But I'm not happy with living with you here. You just don't leave.
I did tell him that. I gave him my 30-day notice.
You can't give him 30-day notice. You have a 1-year lease. How could you give him 30-day notice? Tell him I'm leaving, goodbye, I'm giving you 30 days?
I did give him a 30-day notice. Plus, not only that, but I just felt like I couldn't be in the apartment anymore. It was affecting with my job.
So I just told you what you should have done. You should have said to him, I think you have to move out because we're not getting along.
I told him that we needed to move out.
Not we. Not we, he.
Okay, well, I did not want it to be there no longer either.
Why? No,
I was going to pay whatever was the rest on the lease.
Yes.
Okay? Now, he decided not to leave from there because he didn't want to live with his grandparents anymore.
You're double talking, Ms. Trejo. You're double talking.
He did not want to live with his grandparents.
I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about you. Why didn't you say, I can't stand your music, I can't stand your social life, please, you move out and I'll stay in the apartment, or you stay in the apartment, I'll move out. If you can't get another roommate, I'll pay the rent or the early termination fees.
We did have a communication in that. And sometimes I wouldn't be able to have a communication with him because of my overtime and the hours I was working. So I would leave a note to him, letting him know the problems that it would affect me in my environment, me being there. So.
You can't act like a baby. You can't pack up your suitcase and leave when you have a lease, when you have an obligation. Do you understand that?
I understand.
Where did you go when you left him?
I had went back.
I don't want you to think about where you went. I want you to just tell me where you went.
To my mom's house.
That's an answer. And are you still there?
Yes, I am.
And you don't pay rent?
Yes, I do.
How much rent do you pay?
$500.
I don't believe you. How's that? I don't believe you. I think that you're a slick talker. But I think you did the wrong thing with regard to this young man. You have no valid reason that you moved out of that apartment. None. The radio was too loud? Tell him to turn the radio down. You wrote him letters? Let me see the letters. I assume you kept a copy.
No, I didn't.
Well, of course not, because it's a lot of baloney. You don't like him having women in the apartment? That was your arrangement. Your arrangement was you were moving in as friends. That's why you moved into a 2-bedroom apartment instead of a 1-bedroom apartment. How much did you pay in fees to terminate the lease?
In total, I paid $4,145, but I'm only suing for $3,080 because I'm paying for my half of the rent for the 2 months.
Let me see your figures, please. How many months did you stay there, Mr. Saucedo, after she moved out?
The first week of March was my last week there.
And where did you go?
I went back to my grandma's house.
How old are you?
22.
And you?
23.
That's where you belong. Judging for the plaintiff for the amount of $3,080. That's all. Step out.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Gary Estes III says he was assaulted in his home by Ryland Oliver. Ryland says Gary swung at him first.
Mr. Estes, it is your claim that Mr. Oliver was an uninvited guest in your home and that he assaulted you in your home.
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Oliver, although he acknowledges that there were blows exchanged, says that he struck you in self-defense. You actually hit him first. And it is his claim that he was invited, not by you, but by someone else to the house. Is that right, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
How old are you?
19.
You go to college?
Yes, ma'am.
Which one?
Oklahoma City Community College.
Could you try to speak a little slower? I'm old.
Oklahoma City Community College.
You live at home?
Yes.
And you, sir?
I go to a community college in Cleburne, Hill College. I did go to University of Oklahoma until this happened.
Changed schools?
Yes.
Did you have an apartment?
I was renting a house from witness Mark's parents had a rent house, and we were renting it from them.
How many people lived there?
3.
Were you living there as well, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Stand up. What's your name?
Mark Williams.
Are you scared?
No. Kind of nervous. A little nervous. I'm sorry.
Step over here. I have a couple of questions. Mr. Williams, this is your parents' house?
Yes.
Who was the third roommate?
Christopher.
Do you know Mr. Oliver? Did you know him before this incident happened?
Yeah, I knew him from high school, just randomly, just because we went to the same high school, I knew of him.
But he wasn't your friend?
No.
So you didn't invite him to your house?
No.
What date did this incident happen?
May 22nd.
Did you invite him to the house, Mr. Estes?
No, ma'am.
Did you know him from before?
No, ma'am.
Now, this Christopher person, is that the person that you knew?
No, ma'am.
You didn't know Christopher either?
No.
So you didn't know any of the 3 people that lived in this house?
No, ma'am.
What brought you to the house?
My friend DJ was leaving for the Navy, and they were throwing a going away party, and he called us, and
asked us to come by.
You know DJ?
Yes.
Was he having a party at your house?
No, ma'am.
How many people were in the house on the evening of the 22nd of May?
About 7. We each had a friend over.
Was DJ there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so it was the 3 people who lived in the house, plus 4 guests?
Yes.
All guys?
It was Sarah, one of her friends.
It was a girl.
It was a
Sarah
girl.
is definitely a girl.
Well, her friend is a girl.
What?
Her friend is a girl.
And DJ and us 3 that lived in the house.
Okay, so it was just a small gathering?
Yeah.
Okay, now you can sit down. Okay, so DJ said come on over to say goodbye.
Yes. He said they're having a going-away party for me, and he asked
Well,
us
it
to come
doesn't
over.
sound like much of a party. There were only 7 people there.
There was more than 7 people there. There were people in the front yard.
There were only 7 people in the house, according to them. Where had you been that evening, Mr. Oliver?
I was over at a friend's house around campus.
Anybody drinking?
Yeah.
What about you?
Yes.
Who was driving?
Me.
How did I know that? How do you think?
I don't know, man.
You'll never know. So you were drinking and driving and went over to see your friend DJ, and what happened, sir?
When we were leaving the
Who's
party,
we?
my friend Ricky, and I had one more friend with me. I guess people overheard us and thought we were going to another party. So we had about 5 carloads of people following us, saying we're going to another party.
You had 5 carloads of people following you where?
They thought we were going to another party, man. We tried to tell them that we weren't, and they followed us anyway.
What time?
About 2:30 in the morning, man.
You got the picture here, sir, that I'm not happy with you.
Yes, ma'am.
Keep going.
Okay, well, when we got there, we were walking up to the door. Mark lets me and my friend Ricky and David in.
You had let 3 of them in, is that right?
No.
Well, tell me what happened, sir. Thought he just said that you let them in.
I opened the door. I was the first one to open the door, and I see there's 30 people outside that I don't know. And I see him and Ricky. They first come in. I never said they could come in. They just kind of pushed me aside and came in.
Okay.
And then they ran into him.
Now, where were the other 30 people that were outside?
Just out in my front yard. And I was like, I don't want these people here because my neighbors are going to call the cops, you know. They're making noise.
Right. 5 carloads of them.
Yeah.
So he ran into you.
Yes, ma'am.
What did you say?
I told him it was late. I didn't know who they were. There were 20 or 30 people out in our yard. We didn't want them here. They needed to leave. He tried to push me aside, and I tried to push him out of my house, and he dragged me outside, and
Just a second. Well, Mr. Oliver, when Mr. Estes told you to leave, why didn't you leave?
Man, Mr. Estes never told us to leave. When we got there, Mark let us in. He stops us in the hall, and he put his hands on my chest and asked, who are all these people?
Who were all these people?
Yeah, because they were still walking up.
You
They were
mean
way
the other
behind
30
us.
of them?
I don't know if there was 30, ma'am.
5 cars. He said to you, who are all these people? And what did you say?
I said, ma'am, I don't know. They followed us here.
And what happened after you
Well,
said that?
when he put his hands on me, I pushed his hand down like that, and I asked him not to touch me because I didn't know him. And he looks at me crazy and tells me that, you know, he pays the MF and rent here, and grabbed me by my shirt like that and tried to push me into the door. And when he did that, I kind of put my weight forward, and when I did, he swung at me, and he hit me in the jaw. And I retaliated by hitting him twice. He falls forward on me, I'm on my back, and I try to get up. I push myself, and he's still got a hold of my shirt. So people are running over there kicking and hitting. I'm getting kicked, he's getting kicked. I can't get up, and then I finally get pulled to my feet from one of my friends. And then when I got to my feet, I saw Mark had a cast on his hand. I don't remember which hand it was. But he's pushing people back, and he swung it at my friend Ricky here. And Ricky blocked, and it hit him in his forearms with the cast. And then Ricky pushed him back, and pretty much got out of there after that. Because I didn't know those people. It was, I mean, it's a rich neighborhood. It's 2:30 in the morning, so we left. I didn't want to be involved with that situation.
Well, Mr. Oliver, if you didn't want to be involved with that situation, sir, why didn't you just go home?
Because my friend
Instead of making trouble by stopping with 5 carloads of people that you don't know that have been out drinking all night because it's 2:30 in the morning and they're going to another party. Instead of being involved in creating a situation where none existed, Mr. Oliver, you created an incident. You had had enough to drink. You were behind the wheel. You were taking a caravan over to someone's house that you didn't know in the rich part of town. You brought with you 5 carloads of drunken teenagers looking for another party. That's what you did. You created an incident because you're young and stupid. Mr. Oliver, they don't live in a rural area on 30 acres, do they? They live with houses right next door?
Yes.
with maybe people who are not 19 years old?
Yes.
30 in the morning?
Probably.
Maybe not interested in hearing you and your moronic friends? Probably.
Ma'am, when we got there, it was not 7 people there. They had people outside
Listen
drinking
to me,
in front of their
sir.
yard.
You brought over 5 carloads of people to a neighborhood where they didn't belong. And if you wanted to say goodbye to your friend, and if unfortunately 5 carloads of people, strangers, started to follow you, you go to the local police precinct and you say, these 5 carloads of people are following me. I don't want them to follow me. But you don't take them to an unsuspecting neighborhood unless you're an idiot. Can I see photographs, please? You have photographs for me?
No.
Was he arrested?
No.
Why not?
Because the police said that they felt that if we pressed charges, he'd retaliate. And
Can I see your police report, please?
And that's, the picture of me is proof that I didn't just get pushed when I was trying to break it up.
No, you got so you were
I got
assaulted.
hit.
Mr. Oliver.
Yes, ma'am.
How many times you were arrested before?
Once.
When?
February 7th, I believe.
Of this year?
Yes.
For what?
Possession of marijuana and speeding.
So at that point, you were arrested for using an illegal drug and driving, right?
No, I got arrested for possession, ma'am.
Well,
I never got
either
arrested
you
for
were
influence.
using or selling. I mean,
Neither.
you weren't decorating your house with it, right?
Probably
Either
not.
you were using or selling.
I was using, ma'am, but I was.
Well, that's the answer. Can I see your unreimbursed medical bills, please? Anything you want to say to me?
No, ma'am.
Good idea. You're a fast learn. You have any idea how many people were hitting you?
4 or 5, at least, were kicking me.
And the 4 or 5 that were hitting you and or kicking you, because you have serious lacerations in your head, were those the people that came in this caravan of 5 cars?
I'm
They weren't
assuming-
your guests.
No, they weren't. And I still have shoulder rehab I have to go through. I may have to have surgery on it.
There are consequences to your actions. One of the consequences to your actions is having to listen to me. I'm telling you that your actions caused him serious physical injury and a lot of pain and suffering, because I've seen the photographs. Have you seen them?
Nope.
Would you like to see them?
Not really.
It's mature. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all.
21-year-old Marvin Odom is suing his former friend, 22-year-old Mary Jackson, for the return of baby clothes. Mary is countersuing, claiming Marvin damaged a banister in her home while he was drunk.
I gather from your complaint that you and your girlfriend, who's pregnant, had nowhere to live. And you called up Miss Jackson and said, could we come in and stay with you for a little while? Miss Jackson, because she's a very nice lady, said, okay, right?
No, that's not really what happened.
Well, why
She
don't you tell me
insisted.
what happened?
Miss Jackson insisted that we come stay with her because she was returning a favor because my girlfriend's mother helped her when she was pregnant with her first child.
But your mother didn't help her,
No.
right? And you didn't help her,
No.
but you just came along with the package.
Yeah.
You and your pregnant girlfriend moved in with the defendant because she was being a nice person.
Well, yeah, you could say that.
I did say that. And things didn't work out.
Right.
Miss Jackson said things didn't work out because you got into argument with your girlfriend, you broke the banister in her house, then you got drunk, you fell down the stairs, you had to be taken to the hospital. Is any of that true, sir?
Not really.
Did you go to the hospital?
Yes, I was hospitalized.
Did you go to the hospital because you fell down the stairs?
Yes.
Was it the same stairs that had a broken banister from a couple of days before?
Yes.
And how did the banister get broken a couple of days before? Look at me. Don't look down here.
That I couldn't even tell you. All I have to say is that by the time I was in the hospital to the time I got out, I'm not hearing about the banister thing until we just filed a small claims court.
In any event, at that point, when he went to the hospital, according to you, that was the time when you said, time to go.
Yeah.
That's when she told you she wanted you out, when you went to the hospital?
No, Your Honor.
When did she tell you she wanted you to go?
The first thing, she did not tell us we needed to go. We left because her and her boyfriend were arguing like the day I got out the hospital. I came back to the house. I stayed with my mother for like a total of 5 days. Well, the day we came back, they got into an argument, which then she called the police on him. By that time, they were throwing things around, you know. We were like, you know, this is crazy. Like, you know, we're friends and all, but we don't really want to, you know, budge in on them. While this is going on, like, every day, constantly, her and him fighting.
So you say you moved out because they were fighting?
Yeah, she
as
actually
opposed to
wanted
you
us.
fighting. Now, when you were in the hospital, where was your girlfriend staying?
She was with my mother.
She left?
No, she never left. She stayed with me. She came and she took showers at my house. She used my hot water. She ate my food. And I was there for her because I'm a friend.
Just a second. Where was she living?
At my house.
You said she came back and she used your shower. What?
Yeah, because she was staying there while he was in the hospital, and then she would go back and visit him at the hospital.
Your Honor, I was only in the hospital for a matter of 2 days. That night that I went to the hospital, she stayed up there with me, because she was there when I woke up. And the second day, she went over her father's house, because her father lives like 5 minutes away from the hospital.
Okay. In any event, you left. Your lawsuit claims that Miss Jackson kept $2,000 worth of baby's clothes that you were putting away for your baby. Miss Jackson says you can have them back when you pay for the banister.
No, it didn't go down like that, Your Honor.
Why would she keep your baby's clothes, sir, if you didn't break her banister?
I don't know.
When she let you move into the house. I don't understand that. She let you move into the house.
Yes.
And then you're telling me all of a sudden she became the Wicked Witch of the West and kept your unborn baby's clothes for no reason?
Yes, Your Honor. That's the way.
Well, that's strange. She doesn't look like a nut to me.
Your Honor, you wouldn't believe it, but no.
Listen to me. She's giving you the clothes back.
Okay.
Right? You have his clothes.
Yeah.
You can get the clothes back. So all I have to determine is how the banister got broken. How did it get broken?
At the time, we were intoxicated, and she was drinking.
How did the banister get broken?
It got broken because he left my home earlier that day. He came back in a drunken rage, fell down the stairs, and there he started having an asthma attack. My witness was there the whole time that this happened, and we weren't drunk because I don't drink around my kids.
Just get to the banister.
Okay, I'm sorry. What happened with the banister was that my daughter, my youngest daughter, she has reflux really bad, and I had to rush her to the emergency room. And when we come back from the hospital, my house is destroyed. It's trashed. Everything is everywhere. And I go downstairs and I ask him, what happened, you know? And Marvin said, I'm sorry. I broke your banister while me and Kayla were fighting. And he said that he threw her into the banister and it broke. And he sat there right then and there and said that he would pay for it.
Good. How much is it, $100?
Yes.
Great. On the counterclaim, judgment for the defendant of $100. 5 days from today, you will box up clothing, and the clothing will all be returned. You have it? It's all in the same condition that they left it?
Yes.
You have any babies?
Yes, I have 2 of my own.
How old?
I have a 3-month and a year-old.
Okay. All of the baby clothes that they put together?
It's all separate because they left it in my basement.
Was it new clothes?
No, it was from the Goodwill.
No, Your Honor. These were clothes just bought in my girlfriend's mother. The day she gave us the clothes, we unwrapped
Your girlfriend's
everything.
mother gave you the clothes?
She bought them. She was buying them for over several months.
Good. So you must have the receipts for them.
We don't have receipts.
Oh, that's too bad.
But
5 days from today, you give them back all the baby clothes you have.
But
okay?
here's the notarized
Perfect.
statement.
Thank you very much. On the counterclaim, you get $100.
Thank you.
That's to fix your banister. Goodbye. Have a happy life.
Lynette Young claims ex-boyfriend Robert Mangum owes for a loan and for an assault. Robert admits he put his hands on Lynette, but claims she refused to leave his property.
Ms. Young, this used to be your boyfriend. He's not your boyfriend anymore. You claim that you loaned him some money and that he, at some point, sort of assaulted you, although it was an argument that went very badly. Mr. Mangum says that the money that you did, in fact, give him was a gift. There was never any discussion of repayment, and that this assault that you're talking about was as a result of your own actions, that you were a hot-tempered nut and he did nothing but try to escape you. Tell me about this money. When did you give it to him and where did it come from?
February 16th. It came from my accounts.
Can I see from where?
Yes. It's right here.
Where did you take this money from?
It was from my savings accounts.
And you took it out in cash?
Cash.
And what did you do with it?
I let the defendant borrow $1,100 from it, and I spent $900 of it.
Now, you gave him $1,100. And what did you do with it, sir?
I was supposed to buy a car, but
it didn't go that way. You know, she spent all her money, so.
You were supposed to buy a car.
Right.
Did you
But
put
she
the money?
blew all her.
I'm speaking. When she gave you the $1,100, where did you put it?
I just had it in my pocket. It was in my possession. I didn't put it in the bank anywhere because it's supposed to be for me to buy a car. But she blew all her money, so I had to use the money to take care of her now.
He was going to say that no matter what happened.
Right, I mean, I'm trying to tell you what happened.
I ask questions. When I want you to do a monologue, I'll ask you.
It's not a monologue. I was answering the question.
No, I just asked you where you put the money. You said in my pocket.
In my possession. Sorry.
Right. You see, we're going to do this in an orderly fashion, like I say.
It's supposed to be used to buy a car.
I have a feeling they look like, look, see, that's attitude. Look at the attitude, right? Attitude, attitude. That looks like a match made in heaven. So she gave you this $1,100. You're supposed to use it to buy a car.
Right.
But you didn't buy a car. You bought a watch instead.
No, I didn't buy a watch. Ben had the watch. Ben had the watch.
What did he say?
Ben had the watch.
So what'd you do with the money?
Help take care of her, because she blew all her money.
What did she blow her money on?
Ask her.
What'd you blow your money on, the $900? What'd you buy?
I actually blow my money.
What did you buy with it?
I have to eat, I have to pay my bills, I have my own apartment.
Yeah.
And I have to put gas and things in my car, so I didn't actually blow my money.
Well, so you spend your money on your own bills.
On myself.
On yourself.
Doing
on
things that I had to do.
Tell her the truth.
Shh. Just a second. Why should she tell me the truth? That would
Because
make
she's not
it
telling
so
the truth.
unusual here.
She's not telling the truth.
Okay, so
I
you
thought
blew,
this is a
she
place of
blew her
justice.
money and you had to use the $1,100 on her. What did you use it on? Give me an example.
Food, going out, rent, cell phone bills, all of that nature. But I was supposed to have been buying me a car. That was
Were you living
specifically
together?
for. Yo, huh? Excuse me? You're not speaking loud enough.
The problem is your mouth isn't closed. So when your mouth is not closed, you
asked me
can't
a
hear me.
question.
You can't hear me. I said, were you living? No, you were
No, we
quiet
weren't
for a
living
second.
together, but we was together every day. I'm answering your question. I'm just.
It's all in the timing, see.
See, we ain't connecting here. Maybe we need to slow down a little bit.
We are not connecting, sir. And for that, I say, thank God.
Wow.
So you didn't buy the car with the $1,100?
No, ma'am.
You took her out to eat, took her to parties and things?
Parties, eat, shows, karaoke, everything.
I just want to know where was I at.
Just 1 second.
I'm sorry.
Just 1 second. That doesn't mean he doesn't have to pay you back. Listen to me. That doesn't mean he doesn't have to pay you back. If he decided to use this money to show you a good time, to play big man, that's his problem.
Hey.
That's his problem. You know, he chose to do that. He could have let you stay home and watch Law and Order or watch Judge Judy. He could have let you do that. You could have had just as good a time. All right. Okay. So now, Miss Young, now I want you to tell me, madam, about this assault, when it happened, and let's try to keep it legitimate, okay? Because I have a feeling that I'm going to get half a truth from each of you.
Okay, it happened probably like a month and a half ago. I was over his house.
Month and a half? What month?
What was it? June?
You're asking me? I wasn't there.
Okay, June, May, June.
May and June.
Yes.
Must have been a terrible assault if you remember May and June. Go ahead, let me hear what happened. You were over on his porch.
Okay, I was over on his porch.
You were sitting on his porch.
He got angry because I wouldn't leave. He wanted to drive my car and go to handle some business. And he wanted me to go inside the house. And I said, no, I don't want to go in the house. He came back, drove around the block, told me, leave my house, Lynette. And I said, I'm not leaving. Why do you want me to leave? He took me by my shirt, grabbed me, drugged me off his porch with my shirt. Tried to throw me in my car. We got into a physical altercation. He scratched me up. I scratched him up. We was fighting, like just fighting. Not like punching each other, but like scratching.
Each other?
Yes. I was trying to defend myself.
Because you were trespassing on his property.
I wasn't really trespassing.
Yes, you were.
I was invited over his house.
No, Lynette, darling, what he said to you, I want you to leave my house. The invitation is over. You have to leave.
Okay, that's true.
That means you're trespassing.
But when I did say that I was about to go, you don't have to put your hands on me. I will leave on my own will. He took me by my shirt and drugged me off the porch. So that means that he didn't give me an opportunity. When he said move, I didn't move when he wanted me to move. So
That's his problem. He has a problem like that.
I didn't move
He
quick
likes to
enough
be in
for him.
charge.
I didn't move quick enough for him, so he took me by my shirt.
Did you call the police?
Yes, I did.
And he was arrested?
He was arrested.
Just a second. He was arrested. Did you follow through with the case?
Okay.
Look at me. Did you follow through with the case?
I did not.
So what do you want from me? You don't even remember the day it happened. You don't even remember the month it happened. But I'd like to hear your version of the events anyway. Go ahead.
Okay, let me give you a mental picture of this. Now, she's sitting over my house. We had a good day, you know, for probably about an hour.
You did have a good day?
We did have a good day for about an hour. Usually, that's about the extent of how long our good days last, you know. But I need to use her car. She got an attitude with me about using her car, but she finally let me use it. I'm like, just go in the house. You know, it was a bunch of stuff going on in the neighborhood.
What were you going to use her car for?
I had to go make a run. I had to go pick something up.
You make her...
Because I was supposed to be going out. I was supposed to be going out later, so I had to go pick up some clothes. So, but that's either here nor there. It was a bunch of stuff that's going on in the neighborhood, so I told her, go in the house. You know, I didn't yell at her. I didn't argue with her. Just go in the house. She put on the front in front of y'all. She wanted to play Miss Model, Miss a front, an acting job. Sanaa Lathan. You know, I'm just trying to run it down to you, but in front of y'all, she want to act all nice. But when it comes to me, she's like a terrorist.
No,
She's a terrorist.
Wait just a second. That's what you like about her.
No, I'm actually trying to help her with her problem. I say it's a problem.
Anger.
Right. It's not even anger. It's a mixture of things. She's sensitive, she's emotional, and she's a bit aggressive. So with that chemical reaction, it causes a terrorist attack. But let me get on with the story.
Get on with it in 30 seconds, sir.
30 seconds, okay. I told her to go in the house. You know, I didn't tell her I asked her to go in the house. She argued with me. I gotta go in the house. Oh, I ain't going nowhere. I'm like, all right, I ain't gonna argue with you. Just leave. She said, I ain't going nowhere. Please, can you leave? I ain't going nowhere. So I grabbed her by her waist and walked her down the stairs. Oh, wow. You know, so I put her in the car, got on the other side of the car, pulled off. Now, we in the car arguing, fighting, arguing. I'm like, you know what? I finally got like a mile away from the house, got to the light, and parked the car at the light, and got out the car, and started walking home. She come back to my house. Come back, talking about she gonna call the police on me. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? Just leave. She called the police over there. I go over there, talk to the police, you know.
Meanwhile, you had an outstanding warrant that kept you for a while.
Right. So that's why they took me.
What was the warrant for, Mr. Mangum?
It was open alcohol.
Open alcohol?
Yeah, in the car. I wasn't driving. The alcohol was just open.
Oh, well, why didn't you go to court when you got that ticket? Huh?
I missed the court date.
You have other big things to do? What kind of work do you do, Mr. Mangum?
I used to work at Sherman-Williams, but I'm just a student now.
I used to be taller, but now I'm shorter. What do you do now? What do you do now?
I'm just a student.
A student of what?
College.
Where?
Wayne State. Criminal justice is my major. I plan to be like you one day.
Mr. Mangum, the system isn't ready for you, sir.
I know, but in a few years, they'll be ready. They tuning up for me.
All right, Mr. Mangum, you owe her $1,100. You wined her and dined her. You're a guy who's supposed to pay those things. You're not supposed to take her out with her own money. Judging for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,100, you get zero, nothing, zippo for the assault. You probably brought on yourself. That's all.
Marco Abrigo is suing his children's grandmother, Christina Strickland, for the return of 2 child support payments. Christina is countersuing for the unpaid medical expenses of Marco's children.
Mr. Abrigo, it is your claim that you paid child support to the defendant who was caring for your 2 children for 5 years. And the last 2 payments that you made to her, which were deducted from your salary, I assume, were made when the children had been returned to their mother. And you want those 2 payments back. Ms. Strickland says she took care of your 2 children for 5 years. You owe her a fortune of money, and she's counterclaiming. So I have a few questions for you, sir, before I make very, very short work out of you. When did your children go to live with Ms. Strickland?
2001, I believe.
What do you mean you believe? I would know the exact moment that my children were removed from my custody.
I don't know the exact date that we signed over the children, but it was towards the end. I'm going to say September of 2001.
And you signed custody over to Ms. Strickland because you and their mother were neglecting them. And but for Ms. Strickland, the state would have taken them. Fair statement?
No.
You just decided you had enough being a parent?
No.
What was it?
Well, the way it went down is the mother of the children and Ms. Strickland were talking, and because I was going to be going away.
Going away to where? Summer camp?
I was possibly going to be incarcerated, and she would not be able to take care of the children.
Why not?
I do not know.
Were you living together at the time?
No, we were not. We were not
So
together.
what difference did it make whether you were in jail or on Mars? She was still alone taking care of the children. When were you in jail, sir? From when to when?
Basically from January of 2002 to November 2002.
And in that year, the children were with Miss Strickland.
Yes, they were.
And how much support were you sending while you were in jail?
None.
None? Who was supporting your children?
Ms. Strickland.
And when did you make that year up to her?
Well, when I did get out of 2002, I didn't make it up to her financially, but through 2003 to the beginning of 2004, February, I had the kids in excess of about 200 days.
I'm talking about when you were in prison, sir. You paid nothing for the support of your 2 children.
I paid nothing.
Nothing. I assume that you got 2 jobs so that you could pay Miss Strickland, who was a total stranger to you. She was the step-grandmother of the children. You got 2 jobs so you could start paying her back all the money she spent on taking care of the children. Didn't you?
No, I did not.
Well, then you've got some nerve being here. For 2 payments? Because they went to her instead of going to the mother of the children?
I'm only going by what the court is telling me to go by.
This court is telling you to go home. After I would have made you bend down and kiss her feet for taking care of your children for 5 years. So I have no idea what you're doing here. What you're doing here is nonsense. Listen, Miss Strickland.
Yes, ma'am.
But for the fact that he sued you for this nonsense, you would not be here. Is that correct?
Probably.
Probably. Because you didn't expect anything from him?
Never.
And pretty much that's exactly what you got.
Exactly. May I say something, please?
Absolutely.
My grandchildren have been living with their mom since August of 2006. He has not sent 1 penny to support those kids up until this point.
Is what she's saying correct? Would you get him out of here? I cannot stand to look at him. Your case is
Parties are
dismissed.
excused.
That's
They
all.
step out. Mark Golombieski is suing his ex-girlfriend, Pauline Bano, for the return of an engagement ring and 2 unpaid loans. Mark claims at the time he proposed, Pauline was married to another man.
Mr. Golombieski, you and the defendant were in a relationship. According to you, you gave her an engagement ring, asked her to marry you, and she accepted. And you made a series of loans to her. She went and married somebody else, according to you. And you remained friends, but you want your money back and you want your ring back. Ms. Bano says that you were just friends, originally not, but then she met somebody else, she married somebody else, and you, in a very friendly way, agreed to assist her when she was having some financial difficulties. And the ring was not an engagement ring, but a ring that was given to her at Christmas time when she received all of her other Christmas presents. That's the box. Can I see the ring?
100%.
Can I see the ring? I need a time frame for this.
That was Christmas Eve.
Oh, perfect. How did you meet her?
We met online in June of 2006.
And when did you meet in person?
A few days after we started talking online.
You live close by?
Yeah, we live in the same town.
Was she single at the time?
Yes.
Did you discuss marriage?
She brought up the subject of marriage maybe a couple of months after we'd met.
What did she say?
She kind of thought I was the right guy for her, and, you know, I got along well with her children and all that other stuff. And
So she's been married before?
Yes.
What about you?
Yes, I was.
Divorced?
Divorced.
And you?
Ben, I was divorced, yes.
Tell me about when you purchased this ring, sir.
When I purchased was after Miss Biano came back. She had to go to Maryland for about a month or so, 5 weeks or so, because her son was injured in Iraq. And she went down there to be with him and to care for him down in Maryland.
In what month was that?
Most of the month of October.
October 7th is when I left.
Okay. Go ahead.
We still contacted each other pretty much every day, emails, phone calls, things like that. You know, we kind of maintained the relationship the best we could. So I guess with abstinence making the heart grow fonder, things like that. When she came back in November and leading up to it, you know, I started thinking a little bit more about it, that we got through all of that and that, you know, maybe she was the next one for me.
But while, according to you and according to Miss Bano, while she was in Maryland, she met somebody else. Is that right?
Yes, it was.
And you married somebody else?
Yes, I did.
When did you tell Mr. Golombieski that you had married somebody else?
When I got home.
Not before?
No. When I got home from Maryland. Which
When
was
did you
in
get
November.
home from Maryland?
November 7th, November 8th.
Is that when she told you she had gotten married?
No, Your Honor.
When did she tell you she
Mark,
got married?
you were crying
No,
on the
no, no,
phone.
Mr. Bano, don't speak to him. When did she tell you she got
She
married?
told me she did not even get married until just before Thanksgiving, which would have been around November 22nd or so.
Okay, so
She
sometime
told me-
in
Yes,
November.
that's true. Sorry.
She didn't tell me this until about the beginning of the year after Christmas, that she got married back just prior to Thanksgiving.
She told you after you had given her the ring?
Yes, Your Honor. About a
Tell
week
me
or so
about when
after.
you gave her the ring.
Basically, it was on Christmas Eve, 2006. Her family was
You were
there.
together?
We were together. We were at her house. Her family was there. My daughter was there with us. And we'd opened up presents and things like that. And
Everybody exchanges gifts on Christmas Eve.
Go ahead.
one of the last gifts that I had given her was the ring. And, you know, I let her know that I wanted to marry her, and she accepted.
What did she say?
She said she wanted to be together, you know, and she accepted
All
it.
right. Now, according to you, Miss Bano, at the time that this gentleman gave you this ring, you were married to somebody else.
Yes.
And you told him you were married to somebody else.
Yes.
Give him his ring back.
Thank you.
His.
I offered it back 100 times. He
Now he's got
refused
it.
to take it.
Okay, now he's got it. Got your ring back.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now let's talk about these loans. When was the first loan?
First loan was on January 17th of 2007. She asked for $750 for a car loan.
Now, by that time, you already knew that she was married.
Yes, Your Honor. But I also expected us to, she was talking about an annulment. She was talking
Why
about
did she tell you that she wanted an annulment?
She didn't want to be married to this gentleman. The gentleman that she'd married to wasn't even with her. He wasn't up in the state of Connecticut. He was still wherever. I'd never met him.
Maryland.
The only time that I'd know that they were together, she said, is when he came up here to marry her in November.
But you still dated
Yes, Your Honor.
from November, December, and into January. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So according to you, and according to her, she needed $750. You gave her the $750, and according to Ms. Bano, she actually returned, and you accepted $350 on that loan.
No, Your Honor. Not on those loans. There was a time around Christmas that she wanted, you know, we were out shopping and she needed some money, and I gave her the $300 then. What? And she had repaid that money to me in the cash that she's talking about, I believe.
No, that is not true.
Okay, so why don't you tell me, Ms. Bano?
Okay, in the beginning, we did meet.
Listen, I'm past meeting. I don't care meeting. You met, you married somebody else.
Yeah, I
You
did.
want-
I met, I
Fine.
married somebody else. In
Listen,
December, I
Ray-
talked to him.
Quiet. Get to the $750.
I was telling him, we were talking. I told him I needed more money to put down payment on my new car, okay? He
Why did
offered
you tell
it.
him that? Why did you tell him that?
We were just talking in general. I wanted the car now. I didn't want to wait, okay? And he offered it, so I said, okay, I'll pay you back. I can pay you back half now, and I'll pay you back half the next week. He's like, that's fine. So on the 18th, I deposited his check into my account. On the 22nd, I withdrew $300, and I handed it to him. He took it. The following week, I offered him money again. He said, no, just keep it. Don't worry about it.
Okay, go ahead, cutie. When was the next time you told him you needed money?
I didn't tell him I needed money. We're just having conversation. Okay, in conversation, the second time in conversation, we were discussing, and I was saying, we were talking about my income taxes, how I hadn't been here, blah, 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 so on and so on.
Just a second. Don't tell me about income tax. I read your answer.
Yeah?
According to your answer, you were having some financial difficulties. So what did you need money for in January?
A car.
You got the $750.
You just said what I need money for in January.
February.
March.
You mean you're still stringing him along in March?
Yeah.
What did you tell him you needed money for in March?
We were just talking about money in general. He offered the money. He left a check on my kitchen table. My daughter picked it up. We asked, what is this for? He said, help you out with bills. I was like, thank you. We cashed it. We paid some bills.
Oh, Lord. Let me tell you something. Mr. Golubieski, kiss the floor, look up to God, and say, thank you, God, because but for the grace of God, she could have married you. Then you would have been in real trouble, sir. Right now, the guy in Maryland has to worry about it.
He doesn't have to worry about anything.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,900. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Roselle Ricotta says ex-boyfriend Jim Leach owes for a loan to buy a car.
Ms. Ricotta, it is your claim that you gave Mr. Leach $4,500 so that he could go out and scout around for her birthday.
Yes.
Mr. Leach acknowledges that you gave him $4,500, but he says it was the return of a loan. This was your boyfriend for a period of time?
For 3 years.
So, Mr. Leach, I'm going to start with you, sir. When did you make Ms. Ricotta a loan?
The exact date was
July of 2006.
And what was the loan for, sir?
Unforeseen expenses, household expenses, and also she had a very tight budget in terms of purchasing this car. So I was helping out with that.
Purchasing which car?
The car she was looking for her daughter for.
Tell me how these loans came about, Mr. Leach.
What
do you mean? Sir, am I saying something confusing to you? Is English your primary language?
Yes, it is. Actually, I just had to think for a moment because...
Because you didn't expect me to start with you. That's why you had to think for a moment, because you didn't expect me to start with you. Well, your defense is that the money she gave you was a return of a loan. So, tell me about the loan.
Okay. She was telling me she was struggling in terms of meeting expenses, household expenses, and also at the same time in terms of what she was trying to do in purchasing this car. There was a lot of expenses that came up, so it was very difficult for her in order to meet those expenses.
How did you come up with a figure, Mr. Leach?
I'm sorry, excuse me? Yeah. How did she come up?
How did you come up with a figure about how much money you were going to loan her?
Because it was about how much it would cost to buy a car. I figured how much, from what I knew about, though it was going to be very difficult to find a car for that amount of money, but, we're going to try to see.
So you gave her the money to buy this car that she wanted to buy for her daughter. Is that what you're telling me? Mr. Leach,
yes, correct.
That's not what you say in your answer, but let's say you sort of forgot what you wrote in your answer. So you lent her the money to buy this car, and you were supposed to look for the car because that's your sort of strong suit, because you buy cars at auctions.
I have a friend who owns a dealership, and I thought that we could help her find a car through him.
So then why would you give her the money to give the money back to you?
It was her car. She would have to write the check for the car. She'd be purchasing the car.
Not necessarily, sir. You could have written the check out of your account. How did you know it was going to be $4,000?
I didn't. It was an estimate how much it was going to cost.
Show me the proof. Show me the proof. I'm dying to see your proof. Show me your bank statement, sir.
I don't have a bank statement with me. I have a canceled check showing the amount of money withdrawn.
Where's your bank statement showing that this money came out of your account?
I don't. It's a copy of the canceled check, the front and the back.
Show me the bank statement. You were supposed to bring bank statements, sir.
Sorry, I don't have a bank statement with me.
That's too bad. You have a bank statement to show me?
Yes.
Give that back to him, please. Thank you very much.
This transaction, which she's speaking of, in May of 2006, because he does have an auction, and I'm a single mother, and he knew I was struggling. He did not want me to take a part-time job, so he offered to help me with my finances, that we go in on a car together at auction, and we did. I put $4,000 in, he put $2,000. He did all the legwork, he went to auction, he sold the car, and for me loaning him the money, I made a $200 profit, which was good for me, worked for him, and I do have all the statements for that transaction. The canceled checks he's showing you is the payment of the $4,000 I originally gave him in May. So that was a totally separate transaction. And I do have bank statements showing it came out of my account.
Show me the money that you gave him.
Okay.
I'm talking about the money for your daughter's car.
Oh, okay.
As far as I'm concerned, Mr. Leach has been totally unsuccessful in persuading me that he made a loan to you.
Okay, that's what you have right there is for the transaction in October. And you can see there's a cancel money order that went into his bank account that did my bank.
That was in October.
Correct.
Does this look familiar to you, sir? This is a bank statement.
I know what a bank statement looks like. Let me ask you, can I ask you a question?
Can you ask me a question?
Yes, can I?
I don't know answers. All I know is proof. I know what proof is.
Okay.
Proof
A canceled check
money...
is not enough evidence to support.
Sir, anybody can prepare a copy of a canceled check.
Okay, what about the checks I wrote to her with?
Show me the checks.
You have a copies of with her name, with her endorsement.
These are copies, sir. I'm
Right.
looking for a bank statement showing me that money actually came out of an account.
Can you ask her if she?
No.
Oh, okay.
I think you're a hustler. She gave you this for $4,500. Money went into your account, $4,500. What did you do with the
Before
money?
that money came out of my account, and I think she will admit that that I wrote those checks to her. She endorsed it.
Yeah, she just explained to me that there was some
Okay.
sort of an arrangement with a second car. Did you
I
buy
do
another
have a-
car at auction?
Yeah, there's another and I have, and she's made that claim before, and I actually have evidence to support otherwise that's not true what she's telling you.
Well, show me.
Okay.
Well, here I have something, Ms. Ricotta, in June of 2006, made out to cash. It says for Rosie. Who endorsed this?
I did. It's written on as...
So you cashed it, you endorsed it, and you wrote on for Rosie.
No, I wrote on Rosie, and then I endorsed it afterward.
And what did you do with the money?
I gave the money to her.
Did he give you money in June?
No. In fact, I have a bank account statement of the first transaction that I took out $4,000 in May, and that he paid me back the $4,000 with those checks that you see a copy of.
Okay. So you gave him the $4,500 when?
October 4th, 2006. My daughter
coming up to an anniversary. Would you mind telling me what took you so long?
I originally started suing him in December. At the end of December, I took him to a small claims court.
And what happened?
He did not show up. He claimed he did not receive the notice. So he obtained an attorney. He had the attorney file to set a new court date. So that was successful, and that's what led us to here.
Ms. Ricotta, I'm satisfied that you gave him $4,500. I am now also satisfied that you vigorously pursued the return of your $4,500 2 months after you gave him the $4,500. I mean, I don't understand why he took your money and didn't purchase this car. Is there any reason? Did you break up with him shortly afterwards?
Yes. He felt the day that he came to my house, which was December 1st, 2 days before my daughter's birthday, because I did want it for my daughter's 16th birthday. And even though we had broken up earlier in August, we still remained friendly and we'd see each other now and then. I felt that he felt we were still going to stay together. And
December 1st, he was at your house, and?
December 1st, he came to my house. I said, since you don't have the car in time for my daughter's birthday, I would like the money back. And I asked him if he still had the money. And he basically in turn said I called him a liar and a thief, and he felt disrespected, and he was hurt. He was hurt because that ended the relationship at that point. It was the last time.
Can I add something to that?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, because that's not what happened actually at that time. That night in question, actually, she accused me of stealing money, which I had not done. She was under the influence of prescription, non-prescription medication, and she had a lot of issues, depression, and she was taking it out of me. I mean, I can add a lot more insight, but, you know, it's the personal issues that, you know, that...
I don't have to go into personal issues.
Right,
All
right.
I have to know is, in my own gut,
Right.
is whether or not I believe, based upon the proof that's been shown to me today, whether or not she gave you $4,500 to go and look for a car for her daughter, and whether or not, because the relationship was over, you failed to return the $4,500. She has proof that she took $4,500 out of her bank. She has proof that that $4,500 found its way within a couple of days to your bank. You say it was the return of a loan. I am not satisfied that there was any loan that you made to her, because you gave me some convoluted story that, quite frankly, even you couldn't follow if you were sitting here. So I am satisfied that you did, in fact, take this money in the quest to buy this young lady a car, and you didn't return it. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $4,500. Thank you.
23-year-old Erin King is suing her former roommate, 21-year-old Avian Moses, for stopping payment on a rent check. Avian claims Erin kicked her out after 2 weeks of living together.
Ms. King, the defendant was your roommate for a short period of time, and it is your claim that she moved out after an argument that you had, and she put a stop payment on her rent check.
Yes.
You want your rent.
Right.
And the defendant says that you kicked her out of the apartment, and therefore she doesn't have to pay you any rent. Ms. Moses, you moved into Ms. King's apartment?
Yes, ma'am.
When?
I moved in approximately August the 4th, I believe, around the beginning of August.
Was it August 4th?
August 5th.
And you knew each other before?
Yes, we did.
Through college.
What was the rental arrangement?
The rental arrangement was that we would both split the rent equally, $305, including utilities. She was supposed to pay me on the 3rd of each month.
So far, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
When did she move out?
She moved out November the 14th.
Had she paid you November's rent?
Well, she wrote me a check when I went to the bank to cash it.
That's the rent check that she stopped paying.
Right,
on.
and I have that as
okay.
well.
So that was November 14th. So far you were in the apartment from November the 3rd to November the 14th.
Yes.
So you should have paid rent.
Yes.
On what date did you give her the rent?
Probably the 7th. It was after the time that I was supposed to give it to her. Oh, yes, ma'am, the 7th.
Why were you late with your rent?
Well, a week before that, my purse had gotten stolen, and I didn't have a bank card. I had to change all my accounts, and during this time when I was changing the numbers and all, getting everything straight, I informed Aaron of this. I said, I don't have a checkbook, I don't have a bank card. I said, can I just pay you next week once my accounts are in order? She said, yes, no problem. I said, I'll pay you a late fee. She said, okay, no problem, and I did so.
You paid her the rent?
Yes, and a late fee.
Which you owed her?
Yes.
And the late fee?
Yes.
Now, why did you stop payment on the check?
Me and Aaron had been having problems living together for about a month. She was in an abusive relationship. It was constant fighting in the apartment. Her boyfriend would come over, get high, smoke weed, hit on me. She'd leave him in there. She gave him a key to the apartment. She would constantly fight with me over food, saying I was stealing from her. We got into a physical altercation, and I decided this was the last straw. She was not on the lease and to get out of her house. So I said, gladly, I'll stop payment on my rent check, and I'll leave your house immediately.
Well, you can't do that. A, you didn't tell her you were stopping payment on the rent check.
I did tell her I was stopping payment on my rent check.
Really? No.
She
You didn't even
me.
say that in your answer, that you told her you would
She
leave
called
immediately.
me that same day, and I told her I was stopping payment on my rent check, and I was moving out.
You may have told her that after she called you on the phone, but when you had the argument with her in the house...
No, she told me to leave. She told me this was her apartment and to leave.
On the phone or in person?
No, when we had our physical altercation.
I understand that. You're not putting on your listening ears.
I'm sorry.
At the time you had this altercation and this argument, you did not say to her, I'm putting a stop payment on the rent check. According to you, you told her over the phone that you were putting a stop payment on the rent.
I apologize for not mentioning that, but I did tell her at the point when we were after the physical altercation, the police that came, I told her that I was leaving and I was stopping payment on my rent check.
Well, you can't.
Okay.
You can't. Unless, of course, she changed the locks.
Yes, that's exactly what she did.
When did you change the locks?
I changed the locks on the 14th. That was because she had been going through my belongings. She had actually stole from...
Just a second. You can't change the locks and ask for rent at the same time.
Well, I actually changed the locks after she did the stop payment on the check. After they gave me the check back from the bank, I went to the bank on the 11th. They told me at the bank I need to take this check back to Ms. Moses. They couldn't tell me why because it was concerning her account. After I left the bank, I said, Avian, I just left the bank. They gave me the check. She said, I'm not paying you anything. I'm moving out.
That's not correct.
And so after that, I later discovered that she had been in my room while I was out of the apartment.
Ms. King, can't have it both ways. If you change the locks on the apartment, making it impossible for her to come back to the apartment, you can't charge her for rent for the entire month.
She did come back to the apartment. After we got into the argument on that Sunday, the police came.
Who called the police?
She did. Even though she started the altercation, she was threatening me with an alcohol bottle, saying that she was going to hit me upside my head with it. While the police was there, I said, it's fine. She can stay, for the next 3 weeks. It won't be any problems. She left that Sunday. She actually came back that Monday and spent the night, even after she told me that she was moving out, and she had started to move her stuff out.
When did she finally move the last bit of property out of the house?
She didn't finish moving out because after I had the locks changed, I called her and I let her know that I had the locks changed and to call me and make arrangements to get the rest of her belongings. I guess she was angry because I had the locks changed, and she said, well, you're stealing my property. She was with her mother. I said, no, you can come in and get your stuff. I even gave her mother a futon cover that was in the living room and a financial aid paper. I guess, it has her financial information. I kept telling them, please come in and get the rest of your stuff. I even, gave them that. I wasn't...
When did she take it out, or did she still not?
She left after I gave her mother the futon cover and the Norfolk State financial aid booklet. They said, we don't want the rest of the stuff. We're leaving, and they left it. And so she left a bed, a dresser,
Did you leave
clothing.
a bed and a dresser there?
Yes.
Ma'am, because... Yes, I did, because she wouldn't allow me to get it. She changed the locks.
Listen to me. You didn't sue her, did you, for your stuff?
Yes, I did. And the court ordered her to give it back to me, and I didn't get it back until January the 1st of 2007.
Oh, so you did sue her. This is not the first time you've been in small claims court.
No, ma'am.
Really? I got it. Miss King, you're only entitled to half a month's rent. Change the locks. But you're entitled to half a month's rent. $150, $250.
Okay.
Right? That's what your half a month's rent is.
Yes.
And that's what you offered to pay her.
Yes, I did.
$150, $250. Absolutely right. That's all. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Crystal Kim says former roommates Marcus Thompson and Darian Harris won't return her furniture. Crystal also claims that Darian attempted to sexually assault her.
Miss Kim, how long have you known the defendants?
About a year.
And there came a time when you moved into an apartment with them. They already had the apartment.
Correct.
And when was that?
June 1st, 2007.
Did you have your own bedroom?
Yes, I did.
And you were supposed to pay rent?
That was not the agreement.
You going to live there free?
No.
Well, either you live there free or you pay rent.
What the agreement was if I were to move in, I would pay for utilities, I would pay for gas, I would pay for the cable, I would pay for the internet, the phone.
So you were going to pay all the utilities?
We shared the gas, and then I paid the majority of everything else, correct?
Is that your agreement?
No, that was not the
What was
verbal.
the agreement?
The agreement that we had when Crystal moved in with us, it was correct for internet, phone, cable, and some grocery.
Okay. When did you move out, by the way?
January 15th, 2008.
And I assume you have proof that you paid all those expenses while you were living there?
Yes.
Great. So that was the agreement. She wasn't going to pay rent. Phone, cable, internet, and buy groceries.
Yes.
Your claim is that when you moved in, you bought some furniture, and they were supposed to pay you back for their 2/3 of the furniture. When you moved out on January 15th, 2008, you left the furniture there, and they refused to pay you for it, and they had never paid you for it. The defendants say that you did not pay rent. You used the word rent while you were there. You lived there for 9 months, and they're keeping the furniture. That's your defense.
Yes.
You also claim that one of these two young men assaulted you.
Yes.
And you want to be compensated for that harassment. So I'd like to see your checks for the phone bill, the cable, and the internet from June until January.
All the transactions were done in cash.
Then just give me the receipts.
I have the receipt of the furniture that was purchased on my
I'm not
credit
interested
card.
in the furniture. Listen to what their defense is. Their defense is that you lived there free for 9 months, and they let you live there free without paying these expenses that you were supposed to pay because you had purchased furniture. Am I reading your defense correctly?
Yes.
I mean, is that true? Pay the phone bill.
She did.
And she paid for groceries?
That was breached.
When?
That was breached the second month that she was there. Crystal purchased groceries 2, maybe 3 times at the most. And then it became a situation where she just purchased food for herself. And I also want to add that she was only...
Just a second. Did you have that discussion with them?
No. I moved in. I paid for groceries for everybody. Everybody was fed. It got to a point where, after a while, I was never even there. I was working 2 jobs. I went to school full-time. I was never home to eat. I was never home to go grocery shopping. The agreement, when I moved in, was nothing about groceries at all.
Well, you already told me you bought food for everybody.
I did, but I just help out.
But that was your agreement. That was your rent, Miss Kim. That was your rent, whether you were eating there or not. Then you should have gone back and said to them, listen, we have to redo this agreement because I'm not here and I'm not eating. So I don't want to buy groceries. I have a bedroom. I'll pay something towards the rent on the house or the apartment, but I'm not going to buy groceries because I'm not eating here.
I also gave them money for rent.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Oh, fine. You didn't tell me that. You told me you didn't give them money for rent.
The agreement was I didn't have to pay rent, but I still did.
How much did you pay them?
Whatever they asked me. One time they wanted $200. Next month they wanted $100. Our rent was only $500, so it was split between 4 people.
Who was the 4th?
My girlfriend. Well, she was a girlfriend. Her name is Tiffany.
Did she give you money?
No. I personally never witnessed or accepted rent money from Crystal. And just a quick point, Crystal came home every night. It was never a night when she ever didn't come home.
Did you ever accept any cash from her?
In situations where we needed help with the utilities, never for rent. Rent was always handled by Darian and I.
Whatever it was, you accepted cash from her?
Small deposits, Your Honor.
Whatever. All right, you have to give the furniture back. Do you understand? Furniture goes back to her. You cannot have a loose kind of arrangement like this and expect somebody else to figure out. You're supposed to have a contract. It doesn't always have to be in writing. It should be in writing.
Yes.
But you have to have a contract. You pay $40 a week, plus your own phone. You pay $200 a month, plus a quarter of the utilities. You can't have this nebulous arrangement and then expect me to figure it out. Do you understand?
Yes.
Put your hand down. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand.
Perfect. So she's getting her furniture back 5 days.
They've damaged the furniture.
Listen, you shouldn't have left it there any longer than you had to. 5 days from today, you get your furniture back. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Put your hand down.
Okay.
5 days from today, she gets her furniture back. Do you understand?
Yes.
Now, you want to give me this assault in 30 seconds or less? Now, Miss Kim, you want to give me this assault in 30 seconds or less?
Sure. One night, Friday night, October, we went out to a bar. Probably 9 o'clock, we all got home from work. We all went, we had a couple of drinks, we came home, and we watched a movie. When I fell asleep, we all fell asleep. Marcus and Tiffany decided to go into the bedroom and go to bed, where Darian waited outside for me.
Who's Darian?
That's me.
Go ahead.
I woke up, it was 7 a.m. He was on top of me, one hand down, unbuttoning my pants, another trying to touch the upper part of my breast.
And?
I eventually woke up. I pushed him off.
So you pushed him off, and?
I ran into my bedroom.
And that was in October?
That was October. I locked myself in my room.
Yeah, and?
Called my girlfriend, didn't know what to do.
And?
I stood there overnight, waited till everyone woke up. I grabbed Marcus, talked to Marcus, and asked him what I should do. And he told me, he's like, I'll be behind you 100%, but
you lived there October, November, and December. Are you telling me that you didn't speak to, what's your name?
Darian.
Darian?
No, we spoke.
October, November, and December?
We spoke.
Did you tell him that his advances were uncalled for and unwarranted?
Yes, and he apologized.
And you stayed there? And did you have any trouble with him after that?
I did.
Tell me.
He basically, he thought that he could do whatever. He made me feel uncomfortable.
Who cares what he made you feel uncomfortable? Getting your furniture back. Stop with the nonsense. He made unwanted advances. He apologized. Everybody had a little too much to drink. You were on the couch? Were you on the couch?
Yes, I was on the couch.
Shouldn't have done it. Stopped. Didn't assault you in any way. Didn't
touching my breast,
didn't.
And getting down my pants is...
Did you call the police?
He told me not to.
Did you call the police?
No, I didn't.
Did you stay there for 3 months?
Yes.
Goodbye, Miss Kim. You get your furniture back.
Damian Cecere says he helped friend Amy Brown with a loan to get started in a vitamin selling business. Damian claims Amy has yet to pay him back.
Pronounce your last name for me.
Cecere.
Mr. Cecere, I want you to understand that I have some familiarity with the kind of business that you're in. Do you want to explain it to Bert, or would you like me to do it?
The nature of the business?
Yes.
Essentially, I have my friend Ronald here who has been in the business for 12 years, and he...
Ronald doesn't have to explain it.
Okay.
I'm going to, in very simplistic terms, explain it to Bert. You tell me if I'm wrong.
All right.
Simple. You have this vitamin bottle, because that's what they sell, vitamins.
Mm-hmm.
And Ronald, that's this guy over here, he's been in the business 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
He sometimes sells these vitamins.
Mm-hmm.
But what he does mostly is get other people under him who sell vitamins.
Mm-hmm.
And depending upon at what level they buy in, they could buy in with $500 or $1,000 or $2,000, they get product. He brings him in. Mr. Sincere over here buys $5,000 worth of product. He gets a piece of that.
Sure.
So it's like slavery, you know. What you do is he brings in, what's your first name?
Damien.
He brings in a lot of Damians. Damien 1, Damien 2, Damien 3, Damien 4. And whatever Damien orders from the business, not sells, but orders from the business, Ronald gets a piece of.
Multi-level marketing.
Correct. Now, so then it inures to Damien 1 through 5. They say, listen, we want to be Ronald too.
Of course.
So we're going to see if we can get, what's your name?
Amy.
A whole bunch of Amy's under us to buy as much product as he can, because they get a piece of whatever Amy buys.
Of course.
And
him
they
too.
also, and so does Ronald.
That's right.
Because Ronald gets a smaller piece of Amy, but he still gets a piece of Amy. And then, what's your name?
Davey.
What's your name?
Cody.
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 I want to get a whole bunch of Codys, because that's the way I'm going to make my money. And he's going to get a little piece of Cody, and he's going to get a smaller piece of Cody, but everybody's going to get a piece of Cody. That's the way the game works.
Oh, yeah.
Got it?
That's right.
Pretty much. Now, you also reach certain levels in this business, because if you're a master, or if you're a guru, or if you're a titan, or if you're an Ogatunji, whatever it is, what happens is they give you perks.
Oh, yeah.
Do you get perks in your business, like a car,
If you get high enough, you do.
Ah,
Yeah,
you
I'm not
think,
there
you think
yet.
this
but-
is a scheme that I haven't been through a couple of times in my life?
No, I didn't say that.
All right, I got it. So if you get up really high, if you get to be a Grandmaster Ungatunji, they give you a BMW.
Of course.
Or they give you a Mercedes. So there are advantages for Ronald to get a whole bunch of Damians, and for Damians to get a whole bunch of Amy's, and for Amy's to get a whole bunch of Cody's, because in addition to getting the money, you also get the perks. That's the drill. Now, Damien over here got Amy involved in the business, and she bought inventory. How much worth, sir?
It was worth $5,000.
What are you asking him for? The questions are going to get harder.
Oh my. I think it was worth about $5,000, and he actually put up $3,300.
Okay, but you put up the money for her
Yes, I did.
on your credit card
Yes, I did.
because you were hoping that she was going to do well in the business, and she wasn't such a good salesperson. And she couldn't find a Cody if she killed herself. She couldn't find a Cody. So you ended up getting stiffed for your money.
Correct.
And she sent back some of her product,
Right, some of it.
but you want, because you're stuck with the bill now, because you're not a Grandmaster Ugatunji yet.
Right.
There isn't any such thing as a
There may be,
Grandmaster
I'm not that high
Ugatunji,
up,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, I sort of made that up because it sounded funny. So you want her to pay you the money. Miss Brown says you gave her all kinds of sales pitch. You told her she was going to make a fortune, that there were Codys floating around under every rock, that she was going to be able to sell these vitamins, that they were the greatest thing since sliced bread. And she couldn't do it because she was no salesperson. And since you didn't help her, she sent back the product that she hadn't used. If you have the bill, that's your problem. Okay, we have certain things that we understand. We understand that he bought in for $3,300 and put it on his credit card. That is an agreed state of fact. It is also agreed that you agreed to pay him back that money for starting you in this business. This was going to be your business. You were going to be a grand female Ugatunja. Didn't work out. Wasn't your thing. So what did you do?
I asked for his help several times.
How did you do that?
Either phone conversations or via email.
And what did he say to you?
Usually it was, yeah, we need to get together and talk about this, which never happened. And after so many attempts, I just sent all the product back.
And what did he say?
He was fine with it as far as I knew. I told him I was going to do it, and he said he understood.
So, when did he decide to sue you?
I just was served about 2 weeks ago.
When was this that you sent back the product?
Believe it was May or June of 2006.
So why did you wait to sue her, sir? Is not an answer.
Okay. I wanted to work with Amy to give her an opportunity to pay back the remaining balance.
Well, had you asked her for it?
Of course.
How many times did you ask her for the balance?
Numerous. Both on the phone, and then when she started not returning my phone calls, our relationship was degraded. And I have in emails that she said she would indeed pay back the remaining balance.
Can I see it, please?
May I say something else, Your Honor?
Yes.
I absolutely did make every attempt to not only talk to Amy on the phone, but to get together with her, to involve her in opportunity meetings. Ronald also met her in Anaheim for a meeting. I feel like we put forth a very fair and aggressive effort to assist her with this.
It is clear to me that over the course of several months, you agreed to pay him.
And I agreed to make payments.
So why didn't you?
Because at the time I had lost my job, I was laid off, and I just bought my condo. And
you just bought your condo?
I just bought a condo, and then I was laid off, and then I was trying to get caught up with my other bills, which were a priority.
Well, then you acknowledged this debt to him.
A portion of it.
Well, which portion of it, madam?
I agreed to, okay, he had agreed to help me with.
Listen, we're beyond that. We had agreed to help you. Now I have emails where you clearly acknowledge the debt, which belies what you told me, that he breached his contract to help you, which is why you don't have to pay him. So now we know that you agreed to pay him. So I'm asking you why. Is it because you bought a condo?
No, the condo was prior to even meeting him.
Well, so what does that have to do with paying him back for your business?
No, I had been laid off, and that's when I met him, and he convinced me to do this so that I could make money. Then it
didn't work out, and you returned the product, and you still said, I'm going to pay you. So what stopped you?
Well, I didn't agree with the amounts that he was saying I owed him.
Well, how much do you say you owe him? That's where I started 5 minutes ago.
Okay, I believe I owe him maybe $1,000 just based on the portions of it that I was able to sell.
Well, how much did you sell?
Maybe a couple $100 worth to just
Where are your
friends.
records?
There's no record. I mean, you sell the container to people for cash.
What do you mean, you sell it for cash and then you don't report it to anybody? Not even the government? How do you expect to pay your taxes?
I don't know. This is something he was supposed to help me with.
He's
My
not supposed
business.
to help you with that. This is your business.
Well, this is what he promised to help me with. I have the emails where he stated he promised to help me as
How
well.
much product? $3,300. How much product did you send back?
She returned $699.30, which was credited to my credit card, and she gave me a personal check for $300.
And you cashed it?
Of course.
Good.
Also, Your Honor, originally I gave Amy a can, 2 cans of product, which I said you can pay me back for. Just give me the same cans once you get your order, and she never did, so I had added that in as well.
You're going to have to live with that, sir, Damien.
Okay.
So she returned $700 worth of product, bringing it down to $2,600, and she gave you $300, leaving a grand total of $2,300. And
they actually prorated that. That they don't refund you the full amount, so they only give you, I think, 80 to 90% back.
And
that's what was credited to his credit card.
Well, that's all right. He has to be made whole. You're a big girl. How old are you?
36.
What?
36.
36. 36 years old. You make a decision. It doesn't work out. You have to take care of the consequences. These are slick guys. This is the way they make a living. They find people who are young, looking to start a new life, starting a new business, not worked out in other fields, and they say, listen, you can make a lot of money. And some people make a lot of money. Ronald makes a good living, right? Damien, I don't know. Do you make a good living?
I'm working on it.
Well, how much did you earn last year?
With Just Relive?
Yes.
I'd have to look at my tax return.
Let's try to give me a round ballpark figure, Damien.
I'm going to say probably around $8,000.
8.
Mm-hmm.
You make a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
You've been there 12 years.
Yeah.
How long have you been in, Damien?
About 3 years.
Oh, when you're there 12 years, you're going to have that Mercedes you want.
I hope so.
What kind of car do you drive, Ronald?
I drive a BMW.
Now.
Can I say something?
Sure.
The business has a 1-year money-back guarantee. So at any point, she could have returned the product and got 90% of her money back. The business isn't designed for people to fail. If they don't want to do it, if they get a new job, that's okay. So if there was ever a discrepancy, she could have returned all the product and Damien would have got reimbursed. So.
But she didn't.
Right.
She's got to pay him.
Okay.
Thanks.
Sure.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,300. Thank you. That's all.
Tina Corville is suing her estranged daughter-in-law, Jennifer Corville, for an unpaid loan and car insurance payments. Jennifer says Tina's son is a deadbeat.
This is the son?
Yes, ma'am.
And this is your soon-to-be ex-daughter-in-law. It is your claim that while she and your son were living in your home, you made a series of loans to her.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Corville says that you made gifts to her because she was the only one working in her family. Your son wasn't working, so she needed some car payments made in order to get her back and forth to work, and some insurance payments made on the car. I have a few questions.
Yes, Your Honor.
How old are you?
25.
What do you do for a living?
I'm unemployed at the moment.
How long have you been unemployed?
For not that long, because I had a job January 1st whenever I had put her out.
Listen to me. Listen to me. How long have you been unemployed?
Since January 1st.
Of 2007?
Yes, ma'am.
Prior to January 1st, 2007, your mother says that you weren't working a good part of the time.
ma'am.
That's what your mother says.
Yes,
Is she
ma'am,
lying?
That's true. No, ma'am, that's true.
How long did you have the January job?
Not long, because I didn't even
Just
go
don't tell me because.
No, ma'am, I hadn't gone offshore. It was an offshore job, and I didn't have a ride to go offshore. That's why I didn't have that job. I hadn't
So
even
you
worked
didn't
one
have
day.
a job?
I had the job. I got hired.
When was the
took-
last time that you got a paycheck, Mr.
I
Corville?
didn't get a paycheck from them because I never worked one day
Mr.
because
Corville,
I
I
didn't have
want
a
you to
ride.
listen to, put on your listening ear, sir.
Okay.
When was the last time, month and year, that you had a paycheck? Think hard.
2006, and I can't give you the exact month.
Well, give me close to the
Okay.
exact month.
About the 10th month, or maybe even the 9th.
What would that be, the 9th month?
The 9th month
Yeah.
is September. Took me a while.
Good. September. Now, in August, who did you work for?
Pizza Hut.
Doing what?
Delivery driver.
How long did that last?
Not long.
Why?
Because I was told I couldn't use the car to do it no more. I was putting wear and tear on our car.
Your Honor, that was our car at the time. I was a manager at Pizza Hut.
Listen, you know what kind of sympathy I have for you? Zero. You picked him. And not only did you pick him, but you picked him, and you have a child.
Not with me.
I know that.
Okay. I was just clarifying it.
You know, put your hand down. Sometimes it's better to be alone. Sometimes the loneliest you can be is when you're with somebody.
Yep.
Your son, who is without a job, moves in with you, with his wife and her child.
Yes, ma'am.
How old was he when he left home?
He's been in and out of home since he's 12 years old.
In and out of your home?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, how did you feel about it when he told you he was getting married?
Didn't know the girl long enough.
But she has a job, right?
Yeah, at the time she did have a job, yes, ma'am.
Now, your son had no job at the time?
At the time? Yeah.
At the time?
At the time, he did have a job.
Doing what?
He did sheet metal.
What happened to that job?
He had differences with the guy.
Yeah, the guy fired me because I asked for a raise.
And what did he say when you asked him for a raise?
He told me he didn't feel that I deserved it, and if I felt like I really needed it, I could go look for a job elsewhere because I no longer had one with him.
No, that's not what he said.
Yes,
he
ma'am.
said, I don't feel as if you deserve it. If you feel as if you deserve more, go elsewhere.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, he didn't say that you can't have a job with him. He said, go elsewhere.
Yes, ma'am.
And so you went, where'd you go?
To Pizza Hut.
Was that paying more than your sheet metal job?
Yes, ma'am.
Nah.
With the tips, yes,
No.
ma'am. Okay.
Now, tell me about this first loan. After they got married, they moved in with you because he's not working, right?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
Were they paying rent in your house?
Not at the beginning, no.
Were they paying rent later?
When the second go around, they were going to pay rent. They moved in twice last year.
Fine. Well, the second time they moved in, did they pay rent?
1 month.
How much?
$150.
And who paid the rent?
My son.
What was he doing?
He was working for
Trim.
Newcom.
Yeah.
What happened to that job?
We had went and we had a court date for me and her both to attend to, and we asked the
What kind of court
instructor-
date?
I don't really remember, to be honest with you.
You had a court date and you don't remember?
Yes,
What kind of
ma'am.
court date did you have?
It was actually court for his paternity test.
Yeah.
It wasn't nothing to do with me.
But
For
we
a
left.
quiet. For a paternity test for what?
His second child.
He has children?
Yes, ma'am.
Wunderbar.
He has two, one for two different women.
Now, how much money in total did you give Miss Corville?
$958.
Tell me what it was for.
In January.
January of what?
Of 2006. She bought a car with her income tax. Didn't have money for the insurance, so I loaned her $200.
Just a second. Tell me about what she didn't have money for the insurance, and she said to you
she would pay me back.
Did you have that discussion with her or with your son?
With her.
Tell me about the discussion.
She said that she would help us, give us the money because of the fact he was out of work, and she didn't want to see us without a car because if we didn't have a car, we were unable to work.
Was he
And as she
working?
said-
Was he working at the time?
No, ma'am.
Did you subsequently get a job, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, you did. Good. Where did you get a job?
That's whenever I went to the electrical company.
And how did you get to the electrical company?
She had brought me a few occasions.
Who did?
Miss Jennifer.
Your wife?
My wife, yes, ma'am.
What's next?
In May, she called me at work crying because she had a payday loan that she had taken before they were married, crying because she was going to get arrested. Could she please borrow some money?
Is that right?
It is.
Good. How much was that?
$305.
80.
That you owe her. Go ahead.
Then in September the 19th, their ABC insurance canceled. So they had to find new insurance.
They had to find new insurance?
She had to find new insurance.
Where were you working? You told me you were working in September, sir.
Yes, ma'am. That's whenever we were both working at Newcom.
Oh, okay, so you were both working?
Yes, ma'am.
And you were using her car to get there?
Yes, ma'am.
Ah, good. Perfect.
So I paid her down payment for $155.
That's
for
fine.
the Geico.
That ensures that your son is working.
She was short $100 because they both lost their jobs. She was short $100, so to keep her car, I put the $100 difference in pay that she would pay me back when she'd find another job.
Why'd you get him to pay you some money?
It wasn't his car.
He was using it. They were a married couple.
No,
listen. Miss Corville.
I had lost
your son
3
put her
jobs.
out of the house when?
January 1st, 2007. Why?
What
Because
is my question?
I couldn't use the car to go find a job, nothing. She had stopped letting me use the car, everything. That was her
Really?
car.
And you had been using the car to go and look for a job?
No, ma'am.
Well, you said she stopped.
Yeah, like she hadn't let me. And within 3 months since we had been back over there, I had got a job and went to Houma. That was the only time.
So that's why you threw her out?
Yes, ma'am, because I was supposed to be leaving to go offshore and she wouldn't bring me.
Go ahead.
He didn't get a job in Houma. He actually went to Houma to get a job. He failed his drug test, and he was unable to work offshore. So he actually didn't
What
work.
kind of drugs were you taking that you failed the drug test?
None.
You mean that the test was a mistake?
No, ma'am, I was going offshore.
So you didn't fail the drug
No,
test?
ma'am.
Would you like to take one today?
Doesn't matter.
She owes you for the payday loan. That she owes you for. For the car, consider it a contribution to your son. Do you understand?
Yes, Shauna.
Good. Judge 30580. That's all. Thank you very much.